Salute everybody. Welcome to Switching Lanes with Miss Parker. Miss Parker, how y'all doing on this good Friday? We've been back at it like we never left. We stayed up pretty late last night. Not as late, but we stayed up last night covering some things. Please don't forget to hit that like button as you come in. Let me drop my disclaimer. Jeez. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Let me get my disclaimer. I'm never together. I don't know what it is. Why I ain't been having my stuff together like I usually do. I don't know. I really just don't know, ladies. Turn this down. Hit my disclaimer. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. So I can read it. Hit the like button as you come in. Please share the live and turn on your notification bell so you won't miss a live. Also, say hello to your neighbor as you come in. Thanks in advance, riders. I just got a goal of 5. It's an incentive given to content creators by YouTube up until next month, actually. Only to give a little bit back so they could take a little more. Okay. Hey, Kristen, what to do, sister? Miss Parker, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, spirits. Okay, love you, sister. Keep doing things. Okay, sister. Nick, what up, sister? I'm at work listening. Can't be active in the chat, but hello to all the inner. Hey, thankful, my sister, my rider. What it do? Hey, Amber, my sister, my rider. What it do? Make sure to hit that good like button. What it do, Flight? I just seen you over at Big Babies. Hey, Pretty Black TV. The baby is so beautiful. Hey, Aries, what up, sister? Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Hey, Aunt Natty, how you doing? My rider, Bona Queen, my rider. Thank you for hey, Capricorn Chronicles, my sister, my rider. Oh, I remember this story. I ain't heard it yet. Thankful. Hey, Nisha, what it do, sister? Hey, sister. Okay, you in the class with you? Gotta get ready for work. Hey, Virtuous, how you doing, my rider? What up? Light them up, my rider. Hey, Butterscotch, what it do, love? Yeah. So I hope each and every one of y'all is having a beautiful Friday. I've rested and I'm back. She said, making my morning coffee. I know, Eric, I do need a cup. I do. I haven't had coffee today. I was over there chilling. I seen you. Hey, Angie. What it do, sister? Angie, I'll send you the price list for the shirts and the hoodies and stuff so you can, kind of look over it and stuff if you still want to make an order. But I meant to send it to you the other day. I'm so behind and everything. Timmy, see what it do, sister, my rider. Keep fighting for our babies. I love the work you're doing. Thank you, Aunt Natty. Thank you, Auntie. Appreciate you. I do want to say this salute to Latif for last night for dropping jewels. He doesn't have to come and drop jewels and gems, but he did that for me and the riders last night. It was a good show and stuff. I think y'all should catch the replay if you haven't already about good old Kim Worthless and all the backsliding and all the corruption she's been a part of. And it makes me look at this case kind of sideways and stuff. So you guys want to check that out, please do. And salute to she said yes he did. Okay, Tammy C. But for everybody else, check that out. But salute to Latif for always coming up here and making stuff make sense, because I don't know how to really read charges and stuff, and with his expertise and stuff on the line, he does it and stuff like that. So yeah. Another thing with the merchandise, please have your money ready. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, sister. Only 4 more goes to go. She said, love when you and Latif link up. It's always informative. It was a good live, sister. It was a good live last night to me. But with your merchandise, please have your size ready, your exact size, the colors that you want. And my Cash App will be available and your address, so we can have shipments and orders ready to go. We want things to go smoothly and be efficient with your merchandise as well, so you can get it in a timely manner and stuff. So make sure you got all the sizes, all the your money ready and stuff like that. Alicia, y'all stuff goes out on Saturday. You on Top Flight, and Kim and Kenya adjusted my crown. Y'all shipment go out this Saturday, so I'm excited. I hope y'all like it. And hats are available. Thank you, Aries. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Appreciate you, sister. Thank you. Krista hanging in. I still made it to the hospital though, waiting. Okay, left the replay to come here. Okay, light them up. I get it. So I'm excited for y'all to get y'all merchandise. I'm excited to. I love the colors that a lot of y'all put together. Okay, Nisha. Okay, good. I got you, and I'll write your name down and all your information. And when you leave the Cash App, guys, please leave because a lot of y'all Cash Apps ain't y'all names, so leave me your name so I can know that it's from y'all. Because I'm waiting for Victoria to hit me back, which I think is y'all to tell me about her shirts and colors. I'm just holding on to that or whatever. She sent me that for the shirts. Hey, God, that's what it do, love. She said, okay, I'm excited. Hey, Tammy Patton, how you doing? Blended Healing, my love. What it do? I love you. But this is my What in the Word show, coming to share some stuff. But it's a story that I came across, Justice for Maleah, and the story that shook Houston. And I want to keep the kids' names alive and run down all the stories, just to touch base to see what's going on with our kids in the community and what happened and so much other stuff, to educate me on what I could do better for my community, talking to mothers and fathers all around the world, not just in the chats and stuff, see how I can connect with my community, my sisters' communities and stuff like that. So I want to have another meeting next week on Monday to see some of the stuff that we came up with, that we was doing and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much excited. Hold on. Hey, Gail. So let's get into this, and then we'll get to that. Where am I at? So we always hear about the kids, this is where we meet up at. This is unfortunate. Hey, sister, what it do? Hey, something sweet. We always meet up here, and it's always something about kids missing, kids being unalive, parents taking the lives of kids. It's just so much going on around the world. But a lot of these stories open up a lot of things from a lot of homes that we can resonate with, such as SA in the home, in Black homes, how it was what goes on in this house stays in this house, and how it just transforms into generational curses. Down the line, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. This story right here I want to share with you guys. Imagine not just being in a situation where you're young, you're vulnerable, you're not out there in the world ready to make decisions and choices and things. You're just not ready yet. Your body's not skilled, your mind's not skilled, but it be our adolescents and it be the people around us. What up, Hassan, that makes those decisions for us that we can never get back. Salute to you, Hassan. And y'all make sure y'all follow Hassan Tahir. If you don't mind, sister Flight, drop his link for me. So this is a story of imagine having 5 children by your father.
This is what happens when a man impregnated his biological daughter 5 times. Today's cult survivor is Aziza Kibi, who is a survivor of incest and sexual assault. The molestation started when she was a child at 11 years old, when her father told her that this is what fathers do to teach her how to become a woman. Aziza's father introduced polygamy into the family, and the girlfriends who would come around, some of them would also harm Aziza. Her mother was complicit in all of this and did nothing, even telling Aziza that she was now her competition. At an early age, age, Aziza's father bought this enormous home, tore it down, and used his children as labor to build it back up, even in the dead of winter. That would actually be where he would force Aziza to give birth to one of her children in the basement with no running water or electricity. Aziza's father was actually a very popular music video director as well as interior designer, and they frequently had celebrities over at the home. Aziza and all of her children, as well as 11 siblings, would have to hide upstairs, not making a sound, sometimes for an entire day without food. When one of Aziza's children started having seizures, something was flagged at the hospital when she listed her father as the father of her own child. Child Protective Services in the area did take away Aziza's 3 children, but did nothing to remove the other children, Aziza's siblings, from the home. However, even though they were in the middle of a custody battle to get the children back, that would not stop her father from hurting her. He impregnated her one more time and forced her to drive to Florida with the entire family while she was in labor to give birth in a tent in Florida. We cover Aziza's story in detail in 2 parts on our YouTube channel. Make sure to watch to find out what she was able to accomplish with the justice system and her father. Follow from.
So I'm going to cover that story. Imagine that. And your mother being a participant. Being a participant, you guys, of this horrific childhood. Impregnated by your father 6 times. Having to deliver one with no running water. Inviting people when Capricorn said he worked for the Fugees. How sick is that, Capricorn? How sick is that? A woman unfriended a Georgia man she met on a dating app and he killed her the next day. It is devastating. She said, "Map, now there is trouble on the job. The boss is running a background check on him as we speak." Who is it, Tammy Payton? We have to stop trusting these men online. We have to do better. Everything that looks good isn't good. But all because she caught it off, this is where it landed her. Hey, Simply Erica.
Wilson to serve life without the possibility of parole for malice murder.
She unfriended Antonia Wilson the day before she died.
Senior ADA Nalda Charles says text messages show Wilson couldn't handle Thomas's rejection towards him before strangling her inside of her Roswell apartment. Investigators discovered Thomas and Wilson had only dated briefly after meeting on a dating app. Attorneys say after Thomas rejected his advances, he found where she lived and attacked her in her home. Jurors reached a guilty verdict in 30 minutes after seeing crime scene photos and hearing from Thomas's roommate who found her body lying in a tub.
So this woman unfriended this man she met on a dating app. Then the next day, he got her home address, went there, and he killed her in cold blood. This is why I need to get y'all Family Bible bundle, because we teach y'all everything from situational awareness, self-defense, home defense, assessing threats, or even dealing with crazy-ass people like this. Once you get your Family Bible bundle, you'll be receiving the Family Bible made by my dad, Guns and Butter made by me, and Men Die But the Lesson Shouldn't by Gracefully Kari. You'll also be getting lifetime access to our private mentorship and community. Make sure y'all use the discount code 2020.
Met him online. He started being creepy, as a lot of them do. And she unfriends him, as she should. Only but him to find her address and go and unalive her. Tammy said he is our co-worker. Who is your co-worker, Tammy? The father that impregnated his daughter 6 times? She said he should have been in jail and those kids should have been removed expeditiously. But you heard it said it wasn't. Only I knew a 13-year-old that was groomed to be with a 30-year-old just because the family was poor and needed assistance and protection of that 30-something-year-old. What? Hey, sister, what it do, D? Hey, Squeak, what it do, love? Wow. When I was... hi, Zilla. I hope you're feeling better, sister. Prayers to Zilla. She hasn't been feeling too good. Prayers for my sister MMPD as well. She has the flu. Prayers to Top Flight. Prayers to our little sister Regina. Yeah. So and our sister Light 'em Up son as well. So prayers for them. Tammy, absolutely, as they should. But they should have called the police. Oh, nasty perverted. That's what I'm saying, Top Flight. That's what I'm saying. She said, oh, here we go. She said, wow, I know. Hey, Latanya, what it do? Well, this is part of my new clip, so I'm light them up. Tammy, that is a red flag. This is discussing that adults would allow this to happen to children. No excuses. When do we stand up for our children? That's the question. When do we stand up for our children? When I heard this, I told the boss I'm getting ready to punch the heck out of him, and the boss stopped me. So he came to work with you guys. Hi, Isha, baby. So did he start the job? Did he get the job? No, Miss Parker here at my job in Lexington, South Carolina. Oh, I didn't know he was down here in the Carolinas. He's here. That's what I'm asking. Hi, Minnie sister. Maleah Davis story happened here. I still said her mom should have went to jail. I ain't heard this story yet, sister. Have you seen us? I ain't heard it. That's my baby Maleah up on the screen. Hey, Jessica, what it do? We gonna hear about her. 13 years old. I didn't even know this until a year later when someone told me. He said how many turn a blind eye to abuse for money and so-called protection. It is. But unfortunately, Denise, guess what is happening? We missed you too, Zilla. He been on the job for 2 years here. Shut up. So what's it like working with him, Tammy? She said, right in my backyard in Houston, Texas. Ain't that how it be? It's right in your backyard, Jessica. Hey, One Love. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. Zilla girl saying, I hope you're feeling better. Oh, Capricorn was sick too, y'all. So prayers to our sister Cap. Prayers to our sister Cap. Yeah, they do. The parents got to be held accountable. I'm sick of seeing where the parents aren't being held accountable and stuff. I want to talk about this one. You know, we're talking about, hey, Jordan. Hey, Rishi, what it do, booze? My riders. I've been praying that mothers get delivered from self-lowness and worth, that we get closer to and learn to love ourselves and start protecting our children. I mean, hell, I think protection went out the window years ago, Tribe. I mean, with what's going on now, he is an introvert and always quiet. Wow, Tammy. Yeah, that would be a hard one to work with. Yeah, I gotta be honest. That would be hard. Definitely hard for me to work with. Hey, Miss Groovy, how you doing? I fell asleep on your live last night. It was good. It's okay, Jordan. I fall asleep too. Hey, Net Baby, how you doing? As parents, we know our children can possibly be victims of abuse if we really love or care for our children. Yeah, that's the truth, Denise. That's the truth. That is the truth. I follow Maleah's case like she was my own. Y'all on this one, because it's my first time really hearing about it. I'm going to get into it. We talked about, I like what Sister Belinda said, but unfortunately, Belinda, like I said again, sister, I'm going to go right there to that real quick, just for a minute. Because I know most of y'all probably heard of this, but this is why we're here, to be the voice. To wake up the mental illness and, bring it to the board that it's a problem. It's something. She said, I can't think of the activist's name, but I think you'll recognize him. If you see him, he's the guy that got the confession from Maleah. Okay. Hey, Statements. I'm okay. Not going to complain. Won't do no good, no way. Okay. I know that's right. She said he better hope his background is clean. If not, you're going to have a rude awakening from me. I don't play about the kid. Okay. What up, Yolanda? Sister Yolanda, what it do?
This case is disturbing on so many levels. The defendant bragged to police that the case would give her notoriety, but then she also denied knowing the kids were in their trunk, claiming she thought the odor was a rat on her engine. A traffic stop for speeding and the odor of decomposition led police to the bodies of 2 young children in the trunk of a car driven by their aunt, 33-year-old Nicole Johnson. She told police the body of her 7-year-old niece had been in the trunk since May 2020, and she placed her 5-year-old brother next to her 2 months ago. Former neighbors are grief-stricken and appalled. According to charging documents, during the initial traffic stop, police learned Johnson had no license, no insurance, and fake tags. They advised her to report to district court within 5 days. She stated, "It don't matter. I won't be here in 5 days, and y'all gonna see me on the news. Y'all gonna see the news making my big debut." Court papers indicate police advised her the car would be towed and to take her belongings. Johnson retrieved a black and yellow plastic case.
Hey, Tarsha. Hey, Blue Devil G. Salute, salute, salute. Capricorn. Drove around with her niece and then put her 5-year-old brother in the car and said it was a rat in her tailpipe. This is what the world we're living in. Said she's going to make the news. She's going to be famous. Mm-hmm. 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 Y'all heard it. The devil is a liar. Yeah. It's sick. Okay, Yolanda. Yeah. I sent you my Cash App, Yolanda. Because I can't send the order in until I get the money so we can order it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Driving around with 2D, your niece and your nephew decomposed, but didn't put the nephew in her 2 years later. It is, Auntie. It is. Crazy word. Yeah. Horrible. It's sickening. It's gruesome. I ain't never thought about hurt my kids. We mad as parents if somebody does something to our children. You know what I'm saying? Be mean to our kids. Me neither virtuous. Mm-hmm. You know, we ready to fight about our kids. We ready to go to hell and back and war about our kids. This is sad mental illness at an all-time high. We need to stay in prayer. A little fame for your... Mm-hmm. Wanted fame statements. She said she wanted to be famous. These people are just famous for the wrong thing. She forgot they hate baby unalive is in prison. I know she catching hell in prison, as she should. And it was the nerve to tell the people, hey, I'm ready to be famous anyway. So yeah, next time y'all see me, it's gonna be on the news. The babies won't. They don't got a chance. These kids don't have a chance. They don't stand a chance in hell. In other news, what in the word? I got a couple of stories of people being unalived and the most craziest shit happening. She ain't famous. She's a whole crazy person. Okay, Jordan? She said, what's this about? I'm sorry, I'm late. We're talking about a woman driving her unalived niece. She unalived her niece and then drove her around for years, put her in the back of the trunk, and then unalived her nephew at 5. And that's the niece's brother, and put him in the back of the trunk. And she got stopped for a traffic stop. And they asked what was that smell. And they should have checked that car right then and there. They should have checked that car right then and there, being filled with the demon, shaking my head. So she said, well, y'all gonna see me on the news when they took her to court for no license or nothing. Y'all see me on the news. I'm gonna be YouTube. I'm gonna be famous on TV. That's why I don't keep a lot of people around me. I have to know something about y'all. I moved here 10 years ago. I don't trust nobody. Okay, Christian, she said, Jesus, we needed more announcement. If you don't want your kids or can't have them, please take them to a safe place without judgment or try. That's it. That's it. Yes, famous sister, famous. She said she wanted to be TV famous. What up, Betty? All right, congratulations. She said, Jesus, take the wheel. Imagine, somebody, you're in the funeral, you're in the church, ready to bury your loved one, and this happens.
kiss my baby daddy? What makes you think I'm not gonna kiss my baby daddy before he died? What makes you think I'm not gonna kiss my baby daddy? I mean, not before he died, but what makes you think I'm not gonna kiss my baby daddy before he go lay down in the grave or whatever gonna happen to him? What makes you think I ain't gonna kiss that dick so he can remember?
She said, "Kiss that dick."
Everybody better be happy I ain't pull his pants down and start choking. I was ready to lift. She was gonna get a busted right here in the church. Man, my baby daddy looked beautiful, good as hell. Man, yes, I kissed his. I kissed his lips, y'all. Look, I played it up because I already knew what the fuck I was gonna do. So I asked his mama, like, can I kiss him just one time? After I kissed him that one time, I went down for that bad baby. Went kiss that because I'm gonna miss it. I kissed it because I'm gonna miss it. Fuck, yes, I'm gonna miss it. So yeah, I'm gonna kiss it, baby. They better go there, pull your and make you in front of that motherfucking ass. Fuck you talking about?
Did y'all hear that? She said she told his mother, "Can I kiss his dick one more time?" Her baby daddy looked good than a motherfucker. She's lucky that she didn't pull it out and make him choke her one last time. Why would she? They not let her think she was gonna kiss that dick one last time. Love you too, Alma. What did we talking about? The world? What's the world coming to? Yeah, Erica. Auntie. And I'm like, yeah, they kicked me out the church because, yeah, I wanted to kiss his dick one last time, my baby did. We are losing. And it's not all of us, but for the most part, we are losing. We are losing. Jessica, you hear me? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's disrespectful in so many ways. I wouldn't even have been able to ask her friend to be like, "What did you just say?" Blue Devil, stop that. Hey, Borna, hey, look, y'all. Look. I can't even stomach it. He's busy as hell. Y'all lucky I ain't even, make him choke, die. Like, I wouldn't even have been able to handle it. Y'all hear me? I wouldn't even have been able to handle it. I'm telling y'all right now that I'd have been in jail about mine. Once she asked me, could she do it? It's another one, y'all. Y'all not gonna believe. Let me find it. I said, "Ooh, this." She said, "Spiritual warfare." She said, "No one has any respect. No morals." She's like, "What?" She was bragging on TikTok. I saw it this morning and was sick about it. Sick. She must inhale. Stop it, Capricorn. She said she must inhale some embalming fluid. She said, "Simply, it's the most times drug, sadly." She said, she is so dick hungry that she doesn't even know the meaning of respect. Hey, Stack, what up, sis? Imagine this one. Imagine you just buried your husband. Let me let y'all hear it.
Yeah, I was really worried about punching your shit. You better be worried about it, because bitch, I'm not going. I'm really about ready to punch you in your shit. You first and foremost, I don't give a fuck about what you talking about. Don't come to my motherfucking house about nothing. Well, you want something to Larry? Still, you memorials where the fuck is. That's not. Don't come to my house. I don't give a fuck what you're here for. Get the fuck away from me. Answer for your advice. Go. Come on now. Here's what you do, baby. I'm making fire. Get the fuck on. Get off my motherfucking house. I'm going. I mean, you ain't got some shit out there. Get away from my house. You don't see shit here. You don't see ATV. Get away from my ass. Get.
New girlfriend. Now, girl, the side chick shows up to the wife's home after the husband dies and wants her gifts back that she gave him. She went to the wife's house because Larry done died, y'all. Larry done died. This bitch done went to the wife's house, knocked on her door, and said, "Can I get back what I gave Larry?" The wife did better than me. The wife did better than me. Jordan. Better get right with God. Man, so out of pocket. So out of pocket. I said, damn, is that what it is? I mean, shit, bro. Look, Blue Devil G. Yeah, Tarsha. She went to the house and said, could she get her shit back? Jessica, is she leaving? You get on? Is that bitch even gonna be able to walk off my property? Larry dead. She said, Larry dead. I need my shit back. Wait. Man, born a queen, more than hands. My hands would have been so lethal that day, I probably took a life. It's just the disrespect. You warning your husband, you don't even know he out there doing what the hell he's doing to your ass. All for a young girl to come and knock on your door and about, I need what I bought for Larry. He dead now. Wait, what? Emotions all over the place. What? Now this one, the words just her getting dragged to the side of the road with the rest of the track. Man, auntie. She said, dope. She said she would have came to meet the whole family. And her maker, Capricorn Chronicles. Man. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, I'll write it down. Can I get Larry shit? I just bought Larry shit. He did. He can't use it. What? Oh, no, you lying to me. That's when I would have lost it. The fact that she even knew where he's the best. Boy, look, I can't do it. Net, I ain't going. I know me. I know me. And you can say like, oh yeah, I would have fought at that moment. You don't lost your husband. You grieving and shit. Don't even know nothing about nothing. Only thing you know about the life y'all had. She would have been biting by Larry's side. Okay. Hey, Candy Boo, what up, sister? Body bag with a drink and a cigar in my hand. Hey. She said my cousin was buried 3/4 of his body. The BM came to see if his dick was damaged, and then 2 of them got in a fight. I know you lying to me. 3/4 of his body. She said my cousin was burned 3/4 of his body, and the baby mama came to see if his dick was damaged. And I mean, this shit is getting like it ain't even. She would have been joining Larry. Have you seen this podcast? Said you're lost, sister. Man, by the time I gave her, she'd have been right in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? The cemetery. If a wretched widow was a person, okay, almighty, shit. Hey, Boo. Hey, Queen says, watch a live earlier today with the lawyer, man. Y'all had it on fire and made some new openers to the public. Keep doing the awesome work you do. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Sister Popcorn. Nice seeing you too. Yeah, it's the audacity. I don't know who raised these bitches. I don't know. She said, okay, I'm all kind of crazy. Like, yeah, you gotta look at who raised y'all. But you're gonna learn today. What up, sister? You're gonna learn from me today. I don't give a damn who raised you, but I'm gonna show you. Mm-hmm. Let me get to this. Another one gone too soon. A 14-year-old unalive with gun violence. Good student. Let me do this one for y'all.
Cuevas was killed after police say a group of 17s ambushed him as he walked home from school. Police say Cuevas was beaten before one of the teens pulled out a gun and shot him. All teens involved ran off. 14-year-old Simon Cuevas was killed after police say a group of 17s ambushed him as he walked home from school. Police say Cuevas was beaten before one of the teens pulled out a gun and shot him. All teens involved ran off. 14-year-old
walking from school is so many. This is thereof trifling. Yeah. Hand to God they did. That's crazy. Then he said, I'm speechless. Thank y'all. Where did a good job. She did. Our kids walking home from school. A group of 17-year-old boys beat them to death and unalived them. I mean, nothing is safe. All for fun and game, giggles, and shame. This is what it's boiling down to. This is where we at. Because a lot of us got kids that walk home from school. Ain't bothering nobody. Just another regular day. That's what I was saying last night. We're not waking up today seeing our kids off to school and I love you. Have a good day at school. And that's their last day you'll ever see them. Because this is where we at. This is where we at. I ain't bother them. I don't know the boys. And this is what happens. It is, Born a Queen. It's sad. This is spiritual. It's got to be. How can we tackle this? I'm so sad right now. There's too many young victims. We cannot lose. A friend of mine just buried her husband and the girlfriend wanted to come to the funeral. They said, I'm from. I know you lying to me. I know you lying. She could have sat up front, but it'd have been next to him. Almighty. I don't like disrespect on her. I ain't in real life. Not come and sit in the front row. It's the day. Look. All right, Tammy, have a good one, okay, love? Man, she said, OMG, girl, do we still have to walk our kids to and from school all through high school? Yeah. That had to be so confusing for her, man. Got to walk your kids to school. You got to take them. Yeah, it's the audacity for me to want to sit on the front row, but this ain't the first time I've heard it. Almighty, these females tacky nowadays, just thirsty. She said the crazy part is he didn't want either of them at the hospital. He put them out. So they started fighting. This happened in Camden, New Jersey. From a man's perspective, she a real one to the end. We be fighting at the funeral. Sorry, casket's been knocked over. I'm sorry. The hell, I'd say fuck him at that point. You know what I'm saying? I might stick his ass. Shit, in the casket. Shit. The fuck you got going on? I mean, are you okay? Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for the Cash App, love. Thank you. I might stick his ass. As if he felt it, he'd have felt me. Hey, he'd have felt me in the afterlife. Shit. These new age side chicks didn't read the side chick handbook. They don't give a damn, my daddy. They don't give a damn. Hey, CH. Don't mess with the grief of people for real. I'm talking about I be leaving it. Jordan. It'd be a real different. The dog, I'm talking about turn ass up and fight his ass too. And pick his body up. Carry his ass up out of her. Get him where he need to go. The fuck? They'd have been in there looking at me. Looking at me like I'm crazy. She did. Get his ass up. Shit. Nothing, motherfucker. Get his ass up and get him out of here. And the bitch too. Shit. Thank you. Hey, Shakira Soulshine. Welcome. I wish a bitch would be. My daughter would be a good workout. You heard me? In those days, side chicks knew they play. Come on. You didn't know your mom. You didn't know your daddy was down there messing with Miss Wanda and had 7 kids by for years, did y'all, Natty? I'm good, boo. How many times we wake up and you heard the stories of the kids being siblings and he done had 7 kids with her, 4 with her, but he's still with his wife for years. She said funeral, Erica been done. I'm ripping up a bitch. Give me that shit. Shit. Fuck them. We ain't singing shit. Done. Shit. Tell it on the mountain or nothing. We ain't going. I'll be coming around the mountain with these motherfucking haymakers. We not singing nothing. My dad's side chick thought she could show up at his funeral. She was stopped in the parking lot. Me and my sister didn't play. Shut up. It's to get him where he needs to go for me. Yeah, Wanda, you hear me? Oh, my mama burned hard. Man, ain't no go telling on the mountain. Look, ain't none of that. We ain't not going. This parking check gotta work. Y'all be helping me. All right, Cordy. What? Like that Tyler Perry movie when she dragged about that casket. Capricorn. Dragging in some more. And the kids better help. It's gonna be a problem. Seven lives 3 doors down. Didn't they play together for years in the communities? I've seen it. My mom used to tell us little stories like that. I'd be like, you know, for years you didn't know who was sisters. When you got older, your mama would tell you, and you'd be like, but we played with them for years. We all played together. It depends on what you bought her. I'ma stop that. Go on now. My father had 5 wives, different kids all over. They knew not to attend his funeral. Like, come on, where to respect and morals. And that's what get it though, when they have all these kids, and you know what I'm saying, here they come, and the other kids, everybody ain't got to accept that, and people got to understand that. Like, they his kids too, but you know what I'm saying, nah, they wasn't his kids at me and him broke up or nothing, you know what I'm saying, this some cheat shit, I'm already grieving, but then here come, when it's always death that brings, well, these his kids too, what? Yeah, okay, Candy. Casket would be upside, man. And I'm not paying for the beach. Yeah, they better get it in blood. Y'all better call the city. I was. Yeah, my services was done for she walked in. When she came in, everything rendered, I ain't do no more. All services rendered, I ain't do no more. Man, Amber, you hear me? I ain't paying for shit. Man, Joy, look, y'all, hey, take it how y'all want it. Yo, I'm gonna tell y'all what, it was a guy on her. I remember it was a content creator in my sector doing I met my brother when we was in the 2nd grade together. Damn, Precious. See, shit like that. He said that they went out to eat. He met her and shit online. And he was saying like because he was like, get to know y'all sibling. He was like, man, quit messing with anybody. So he said they lived in 2 different states. And I think she was in Washington. So he went up to see her because he was like, I got some business up there. So he went up to Washington to see her or whatever. And he said once they went out to eat and got at the bar and stuff, got to dinner and stuff. He said it was crazy because she got to saying names and stuff. They were just like having conversation about family and stuff like that. And he said a name stood out to him. He's like, well, can you repeat that? Like, man, come find out the whole time, man, that was his auntie. That was his auntie. His grandfather had stepped out and used to go gamble and shit all over and shit. And he had a baby by the woman's mother, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, he was so confused. Like, how do you know him? He said, they didn't look alike, no nothing. And come to find out, he said, but he was like, damn, thank God I wasn't just like one of those type to just sack a bitch and do stuff like that. But he said at the same time, that was his auntie. And he said, who'd ever thought that's how you would meet your auntie from the other side, you know? So hey, that's how my mom found out she had 2 sisters in the same classroom when she was in high school. I know you lying. And she looked at these, I ain't going, y'all got me cry laughing. Shit. That's sad though. Look, she said, I'm not going. She said, about to get busy, so I'll be back. All right, Corey D. Yeah, I ain't. She said, let her bury him. And the wife keep her money and comes in the front and show them don't have no power or no deed. And mama did. Okay? At all. But that is crazy. Y'all think about it. You meet your sister in your class. And you got to go home and ask your mother, who don't know that your father is out making all his kids. Damn. That is crazy to me, y'all. Well, I want to get to this. She said, for real, no lie. When they met, it was 7 of them all together, no lie. That's how a lot of kids meet. She said, her funeral. Ain't no repass. Ain't no nothing. I'm knocking shit over in the church. I'm taking my hand across the back of the pews, knocking over the fucking Bibles and shit. I'm leaving that there. Pick your shit up. Shit. Hey, Didi, what it do? What it do? Why wasn't she arrested, man? I know. I just want to make, what up, Pookie Poo? What up, my baby? I just want to know what made her go in that church, the first one going to church and suck on that man's peen while he's in his casket. Wow. That's crazy, Precious. That is. What made her go in there and unzip his Tarsha and ask the mama? So disrespectful to ask this woman that she burned her son. Can I kiss him one more time? Wow. Oh yeah, whole operation shut down, whole church. I might fuck around, fight the guest. I ain't gonna hold you. Cause I'm feel like everybody knew was playing in my face. Everybody playing in my face at this point. And to brag about it, to go live and talk about it. And oh, my baby daddy look good, dog. My baby daddy look good. But you ain't gonna never see him again. No, none of it. Your kids is without a father. Denise, that was too much. Hey, Cindy, what it do? Yeah. The mama did better than me. Yes, she said she gonna miss Eddie. She said, and then said, y'all lucky I didn't pull it out and make them choke me with it. Etta knocked me from the church. I could never go church or nothing after that. Would have been a double service that day because I would have did. Man, that baby, about my child. Yeah. Like, had no respect to ask that woman about, could she do that to her son? Choke you out. Motherfucker ain't even gonna get... It ain't even gonna get hard to get choked on. Like, well, what you about to do? Suck the pastor up. Shit, in the deaconess. What? Touch my son. You want to suck something so bad? Born queen, teeth everywhere. Ain't none. Me interest. Ain't no empathy. She wanted to suck something. Better go up there and suck the choir. I don't know what to tell her. Shit. Denise was sickening altogether. That's her last memory. What you gonna tell your kids? That's your last memory. She wanted one that bad, Pookie. It's going across the screen, Didi. It's cancer. Be happy. I'll put it in the chat. But yeah, better go up there and suck the choir up. Shit. The fuck? The mama, boy, kicked out the church. She'd have been scraped. I wouldn't even been able to do the services after that. Seriously, see. Bragged about it, y'all. Bragged about it on many different levels. She said, I'm retarded. I ended up sleeping with the side piece too. Child. Maybe that was his last wish. Not in front of his mother. Not to come in there and ask his mama, can you suck him up? And then get mad because it wasn't it might have been his last wish, but you better meet his ass at the cemetery before they put him in that dirt. I don't know what to tell him. Ain't nothing get sucked up here but some spiritual words. That's it. You can't get some sucked up in spirituality in this motherfucker, then ain't nothing getting sucked up. Candy sickening if they're sick. Not a cucumber. Stop that, auntie. Not a cucumber. Okay. You say go on. Okay, you just want to go on. Don't forget, Diddy, leave me your name, leave me your size, leave me the colors you want on it, and your address. If you got my email, Alicia, one of y'all drop my email. Drop my email. Leave your address, the colors you want, and the actual size, okay? What up, precious boo? She made dick word, and I think it's a crime. No respect. No respect. Hey, Lisa, what it do, love? Pick that shit up. Yeah. Hey, Novi, how my love? Love you, Novi. Yeah. She better go at the cemetery. Plenty of, you can suck up a lot over there. You can suck a lot of shit in the cemetery. You got multiple choices. You got some 1900 dick over there. What you want to suck on? You got some 2000 dick, probably some 80s too. Might even get your 1800 dick out of the cemetery, but you won't be sucking none up in her. Come on, throwing haymakers, Tarsha. Okay. All right, Diddy, one more time for me. Hey, Melody, like, nah, that's it. She was bragging about it, Melody. She said they lucky they didn't get a show when that motherfucker. She didn't ride it. She didn't make them choke her up and some more shit. She did. That's some mental. But that's your what you gonna tell your kids if it's ever get out? Come on. Suck up some dirt, okay? Okay. Shut up, sister. Hey, Miss B, what it do? Yeah, she was gonna learn today. She was gonna learn the hard way. Ain't no empty lab. Hello and now. Go right to the cemetery, suck up whatever. They would have been pulling my entire leg from it. Seriously. Man. Okay, guys. I want to get into this story for justice for Maleah. I don't know this story. A lot of y'all said y'all heard it. It happened in your backyard. Jessica said it happened. Have you seen this podcast? Said she looked for her as well. And I say date, I mean the kitty, boyfriend, girlfriend, because I was not sexually active, so nothing went past hello. Sis, I understand what you're saying. A lot of times it happens, you meet your siblings in school, unfortunately, and stuff. So yeah. But I want to get into the story of justice for Maleah, and we'll break it down and we'll get out of here for now.
In the story.
Are you saying there was abuse?
Hell yeah, I'm saying there's abuse. She knows the truth.
This is moving into chapter 1 of a story that seems to have caught the attention of the nation.
If she was alive, we celebrate it. And now that she's in heaven, we still celebrate.
Gone too soon. Just before the summer of 2019, a 4-year-old girl named Maleah Davis was reported missing. Her disappearance turned into a massive search that lasted several weeks. It ended with her remains being found out of state. Soon after, the man at the center of it all, her stepfather, Darion Vance. He was later sent to prison on a 40-year sentence. Thanks for watching K211+. I'm Marcelino Benito. An Amber Alert for young Maleah first went out on the morning of May 5th, 2019. This after her stepfather, Darion Vance, initially told investigators that he was attacked and Maleah was kidnapped. Texas EquiSearch quickly jumped in, hoping to find the little girl. This is Maleah Davis. Police say she is still missing. Her stepfather says she was kidnapped.
We got detectives and officers out looking in the Houston Sugar Land area.
Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vance, says he was on his way to Bush Airport with Maleah and his 2-year-old son on Friday afternoon to pick up his girlfriend, Maleah's mother, Brittany, but they never made it. He pulled over off 59 near Greens Road to check on a flat tire. That's when he says a blue pickup truck like the one in this photo pulled up behind him, and 2 Hispanic males approached him.
One of them makes a comment saying that Maleah looks very nice, looks very sweet. The other male, hits Darian in the head. Darian loses consciousness.
Darian tells police he woke briefly in the back of the blue pickup. His son and Maleah were still with him, but then he lost consciousness again and only came to around 6 p.m. Saturday when he was dropped off along 59 and Highway 6 in Sugar Land. His son was with him. Maleah was gone. Darian claims he tried summoning help. No one did, so he walked down the road to Methodist Hospital, where he was treated for his injuries and reported Maleah missing.
I realize there's a lot of blanks in that story, but we're hoping the public can fill in the blanks.
The car Darian was driving before the alleged assault was captured on a Sugar Land traffic camera. Police still working to find that car, anything that could lead them to Maleah. Meanwhile, family friends are doing what they can to help bring Maleah home.
It's a child, and a lot of these people out here with their kids. So we're giving them the flyers. They're looking at them, oh my God, we didn't know. So hopefully people take it seriously. We've been asking people to share the flyer to their social media as well to get it out there.
Police tell us to make matters more dire, Maleah underwent brain surgery in the last 2 months and is in need of constant medical care. Her family and friends know time is of the essence.
It's the most important thing right now. I think a lot of people are tied up with the story, what's true and what's not, what makes sense and what doesn't, and that's not the focus. The focus is getting her home safely and as soon as possible.
From riding four-wheelers to walking through thick brush with sticks, Texas EquiSearch volunteers started combing these woods just off the East Tex Freeway as soon as Houston police asked them for help.
We're focused on one thing, and it's a baby.
EquiSearch founder Tim Miller says any case involving a missing is always tough.
Literally choked up right now.
In this case, 4-year-old Maleah Davis's disappearance prompted an Amber Alert over the weekend. HPD says her stepfather, Darian Vence, claims Maleah was taken during an altercation that left him injured. His story is that 3 men in a pickup like this assaulted him after his tire blew out on the way to the airport to get Maleah's mom. He finally regained consciousness nearly 24 hours later in Sugar Land. His 2-year-old son was with him, but no Maleah or the car they had been in.
It don't make sense. All the pieces not come together to the puzzle.
Kimberly Whitley has no connection to the family or case, but felt enough about Maleah emotionally to stop by the search scene on her lunch break.
I'm hoping that she's somewhere safe. I'm praying. I feel like I want to go and search too. Search the woods with them.
What does your gut tell you?
My gut saying I don't think it's going to be good.
EquiSearch will relocate to another area if investigators feel the need and plans to continue its hunt for Maleah no matter this week's weather.
I don't care if we had to walk in water up to our waist. We're here. We're here.
Weather conditions would briefly pause EquiSearch's process. During that time, Houston police would send out new photos of the car connected to Maleah's disappearance, a silver Nissan Altima.
That's so much.
Less than a day after Maleah's mom made this emotional plea,
If there's anybody that can help me, please. Please. I just want to find my baby. I just want to find her. Help me find her, please.
trained Texas EquiSearch volunteers continued their search, spending another morning in the woods near Bush Intercontinental Airport. And this afternoon, near the family's apartment, some 30 miles away on the southwest side.
This little girl is not in a place she chose to be. So we just got to figure out where that place is.
EquiSearch pretty much cleared the area where Maleah's stepdad claimed she was kidnapped by 3 men who beat him up. Searchers have also been looking for the family's missing car in area parking lots. Like in similar cases, detectives tell me those closest to Maleah have to be ruled out, which is why the search is now focused near the family's home.
Early on, I said that, we're certainly hoping for the best, expecting the worst. And I certainly expect the worst at this point in time.
I haven't seen Maleah's mother or family on either search scene, but they spent last night handing out flyers like the one the girl's mother clutched while crying.
I just want to find Maleah. I just want to find Maleah.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got Shake.
From the front seat of John Marsden's vehicle.
How many flyers are there? About 650 to 700.
to the intersection of Quid and Bissonnet near the family's home.
She's been taken since Friday. We're trying to bring her back home.
Hundreds of flyers were handed out to anyone willing to take one.
Spread the word.
Marsden founded the group Houston's Unsolved Homicides after his own was murdered. That's him hugging Maleah's mother, who did not want to say much this morning.
I feel like I've been in the media.
In the way y'all talking, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got people out there that lost their kids searching with y'all and shit, just playing in people's face. Because I don't know the story. I'm just watching it for the first time. But I'm looking at the comments. I see all y'all and stuff, you know. So it's just like playing in people's face, playing on people's top that really, you know what I'm saying, care about where your baby is, and the whole time you know you're a part of it, you're playing your position and shit like that. And this is why you can't trust, because it almost takes you back to this every time I think of it. Don't it take you back to that? The audacity. Taking up the community's time. Wasting tax dollars money on kids that, you know what I'm saying? Not saying Maleah didn't deserve to be looked for, but not in this capacity when she knew. Going off of what y'all said. Wow, she planned a trip, Jessica. Wow. Salute to the state you was found in honor.
Too much. And I don't want to talk anymore.
Her husband, Maleah's stepfather, claims their 4-year-old daughter was taken by 3 men who also stole his car and left him beaten and unconscious until the next day. He says he woke up more than 30 miles away. Houston police tweeted new photos of the missing car. These pictures taken before this investigation. It's a silver Nissan Altima with paper tags.
It doesn't make sense. Something is missing. There's loopholes in the story. Please share it on social media.
For now, Marsden says he's not here to judge and hopes others will reserve judgment too.
We all a family in our community, and it's about showing love and support. You know, regardless of what happened in the past, that's the past. We need to focus on the future, bringing this young lady home.
As the search for Maleah continued, new surveillance footage revealed Vence leaving an apartment carrying a laundry basket with a black trash bag and a large bottle of bleach. Afterward, the Nissan Altima was found in Missouri City.
On a muggy morning in Missouri City, the car at the center of an intense investigation was finally found in this strip center parking lot.
The car's clean, and I don't mean that as somebody's cleaned it. It's just the car looks normal.
That includes the car's tires, one of which supposedly blew out before Maleah Davis's stepdad, Dario Vence, claims 3 men assaulted him before kidnapping Maleah. He told police that happened last Friday near Bush Airport and that he regained consciousness the next day in Sugar Land with his son, but no Maleah. Vence lives in Alief, and now the car shows up in Missouri City.
Each time we have tried to talk to him or have him come in, we have been unsuccessful.
Investigators are still looking for Vence as the case unfolds, but don't consider him missing. And Houston police do not name persons of interest before charges are filed.
We saw officers come into this restaurant where a surveillance camera points toward the parking lot.
Meanwhile, the sight of the car brought Maleah's mother to tears as people who work in this strip center
I feel sad. Have you
seen this podcast?
Watched another morning pass without news of little Maleah's location.
Please.
A cubby marked with 4-year-old Maleah Davis's name awaits her return. Staff and students at Attitude, Respect, and Manners Learning Center say the 4-year-old was filled with energy, love, and joy.
She got along with all the kids. She kept a smile on her face for the most part.
Manager Rashonda Hines says Maleah couldn't play outside due to a recent brain surgery and had to keep her head covered. Flyers seeking information on her disappearance now hang inside and outside the center.
When you see those photos now on those flyers, what do you think?
Sad.
Students here are too young to comprehend what's going on with their friend.
Do you miss her? What do you miss?
Maleah.
Do you want to see her again?
Yeah.
The center's records show Maleah was last here on April 26th, a week before her stepfather claims she was kidnapped by 3 men who attacked him on May 3rd. Hines says Darian Vince picked up another child earlier that very same day.
All the kids asking about her. The parents, they shocked that she go here and she's missed it, a child we see daily.
A child they pray they'll see again. Maleah Davis's mother, Brittany Bowens, held her head in her hands.
And mom's on a lot of soul searching right now.
While activist Quanell X spoke about explosive new allegations against her common-law husband, Darian Vince.
We know for a fact that police did take forensic evidence out of the apartment that indicates a crime took place inside that apartment.
They say this security camera caught Vince bringing bleach in and out of their apartment, along with a large garbage bag, before reporting Maleah's alleged kidnapping last weekend, and amid a dispute with Maleah's mother over alleged infidelity and abuse of the 4-year-old.
And he subsequently said some very disturbing things via text messages that the mother needs to share with law enforcement.
Maleah's mother says Vince is no longer corresponding with her.
Ma'am, I just found the car, that missing car of that 4-year-old.
Houston police homicide investigators said they've been getting the cold shoulder too, but definitely want to speak with Vince after the car he claims was stolen was spotted yesterday by a taxi cab driver.
Have any idea where he may be?
We believe that he's receiving family help and he's on the run.
HPD says the car is still being processed and cannot confirm evidence of a crime may have been found inside the family's apartment.
On May 11th, 2019, a special task force arrested Darian Vince. He was staying at a relative's house in Sugarland. However, Vince would only face an evidence tampering charge.
You can tell by the mother's emotions that something's going on. Thank you, Didi. Thank you. I appreciate that. I got one more to reach my goal of 5, y'all. I was asking you, do you think you can get in touch with him so I could do an interview with him? Have you seen this podcast? Cameras are everywhere. It will unfold. I'm sure that cell phone too, dumb criminal. Y'all know how I am. And I could pick up on energy from just watching certain things, and this is very much so disturbing. The baby having brain surgery for what? The abuse in the home? Ain't no way. When my grandkids fall off their bikes and stuff like that, I'm emotional. I'm over emotional. I'm really dramatic. I hate when they get scrapes and bruises, hurt their fingers. So to have this happen, to know that baby had to have brain surgery first and foremost, is just, to see the little scar on her head is just turn me up right now. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Flay. This was my crime part again. Mm-hmm. To see that scar and to know that that she just didn't have to have brain surgery because something happened to her brain. Mom claimed she fell out the chair that hard. These kids, y'all, these babies are not protected. They are not protected. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Have you seen us podcast? She's so pretty. How you hurt your child, though? I mean, something so precious, something so beautiful, something that you just brought into this world that you could have gave up early on. But y'all keep them to inflict the pain that y'all going through on these babies. Thank you, Ned, baby. I appreciate you. Thank you, love. Was the brain injury investigated? Because that was not gonna fly. No. Come on, Denise. Me neither, Jordan. Yes, Houston. Hey, Breezy Love. It is. Not only that, she was supposed to wear a helmet for a year. They didn't even go pick them. Just like poor little Kimani's glasses. Something so simple as a pair of glasses. Something to thank you, Aisha. T-Lady, hey. Yeah, light them up. Something as simple as a pair of glasses and a helmet to keep the baby brain. Oh. They was jealous. But jealous of what, Naya? Hey, Tanika. Jealous of what? It's a baby. You get what I'm saying? Who's ever jealous of a baby? If anything, we want to love on them, snuggle on them, kiss them. When I see my kids, my grandbabies' Easter pictures, I fell in love with them all over again. It's the first day I ever seen them.
On top of that, many began to question Maleah's mom, specifically wondering where she was the night Maleah went missing. According to Brittany Bowen's spokesperson, Quan LX, Bowens was in Massachusetts attending her father's funeral. KTU11 was able to confirm with the funeral home that Bowens was at the burial service for her father, Benjamin Bowens.
If you've been waiting to apply for disability benefits, don't. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm a lawyer at Atticus. Apply.
Brittany Bowens was at court on May 13th, 2019, the day Darion Vance was scheduled to be in court. And as you just heard, Bowens was confronted by many people in the halls of the courthouse, some who asked why she left Maleah with Vance to begin with. Following the hearing, family of Maleah's biological father said they were upset too.
The things that happened to her, she didn't deserve. She didn't deserve not one bit.
The main thing right now that all of us want to know is what did he do with Maleah?
This all happening a day after a judge lowered Vance's bond from $1 million to $45,000. As the new legal battle began to unfold, the search for the 4-year-old continued.
Type Maleah Davis in Facebook and you'll find dozens of opportunities to discuss the case.
We've been receiving members, joining the group from Australia, from the United Kingdom.
People with no connection to Houston joining Facebook groups dedicated to the disappearance of a 4-year-old girl. Jonathan Riches, who's in Florida.
And that's what I be saying too. I'm with Naya on this one. Why wasn't she with her dad instead of her mom? Her mom's boyfriend. To the fathers. Y'all got to start paying attention too. It's not just on the mothers to pay attention to red flags and signs. Y'all got to be more attentive too. You do. We do, Denise. Go on, D. But we got to be attentive of scars, bruises. Check your baby's arms when they come. Ask them questions. Just like the little 9-year-old up there in Detroit, where the mama choked him out and threw dirt over him like he was nothing and took her ass to Atlanta to live her best life. We reached out to the father. Hell, he didn't know his son was gone for 30 days, so it means that, he's an absent father to me. Because, see, you'll search wide and far for your kids. You'll go to the end of the earth to find your kids. Have you seen this podcast? Like Nazia's daddy, what'd he say? Well, she moved so much, but you was paying child support, sir. So that means that you had contact. You had even more contact to find out where she was through the child support office. Yeah, Naya. Come on, Miss Groovy. Baby didn't ask me, how you jealous of y'all on something you carried and made? Something that you carried and made, you are jealous. Or you allow somebody to cause harm to your child. Or happy how the other side is living, that he's still living a good life and you chose to fuck with a bum. Not his problem. So you mistreat him. I see mothers do it all the time. They'll mistreat the baby because the father left off and went on and had still got a good life. Yeah, P.S. I don't know, Denise. We great find out together, love.
Florida created this one.
We created the group last week. There was about a few hundred people that joined. We're now at approximately about 10,000 members. They mostly flooded in over the weekend when the searches were going on.
From prayers to perspective, people share so much information online.
The future, especially when you combine all social media platforms and people can dump the information into a particular group on this particular topic.
Social media is becoming the place to sound off.
It's almost like in real time where people are posting information and updates about this particular case.
Just because it's on Facebook doesn't mean it's true. So look for info from credible sources like KHOU and police. More than 200 people joined Jonathan's page in just 4 hours.
You know, it touches a lot of people's hearts.
Search teams came to Rocheron, hoping it would be the place they'd find little Maleah.
Actually, he told his mother-in-law about a year ago, he says, God, if I ever killed anybody, there's places out there in Rocheron where I can hide a body and it's never been found.
That's a tip Texas EquiSearch got from Houston police. And Tim Miller said Maleah's mother confirmed to him that the statement was true. So EquiSearch combed land along Darion Vence's old mail route. But yet again, nothing. Each day that passes, harder to take.
This baby did not choose where it's at right now and doesn't want to be where it's at right now. And it's heartbreaking.
Looking for burn spots from the air, but a lot of areas are still underwater from last week's rain and just inaccessible. The fear is Maleah's remains are too.
This has certainly taken an emotional toll on the searchers.
Miller says search teams have been working for nearly 2 weeks. They're physically drained too. He's hopeful more information comes in that helps get them closer to Maleah.
We're following up every single call, and unfortunately, I don't think we're any closer right now than we were the very first day we started.
God, we need to represent this child in love.
On Mother's Day, a group of moms led a march to Maleah Davis's apartment. The 4-year-old has been missing for over a week.
Keep sharing my picture, keep talking about her. It affects the whole city. Everybody, the whole world talking about her. And we just praying that they say something. Where is she?
Even though most have never met the little girl, they felt moved to do something. Even if it's a small gesture, like leaving a stuffed animal at her door.
I just want to show my support to the parent and the family.
Instead of releasing balloons, they blew bubbles and prayed.
I have one son and he have kids, and I have grandkids. And it really hurts to see that a child is missing.
They pray Maleah is found alive, but as hope fades, they hope more people join the search effort so at least her family can get answers.
We can be what this child needed. We can actually be the parents that are going to take care of her, the final act. Let's find this child.
During the search for Maleah, so many Houstonians felt for her mother, Brittany. All of this as the investigation continued with so many unanswered questions. Arlen Cannon sat down with Bowens and activist Quanell X.
The police have talked about the evidence in the apartment. Bleach, blood in the apartment, linked to Maleah. Everything seems to point to this man harming your daughter. Have you grasped that reality?
Oh, wow.
I'm still processing.
Mm.
I'm still processing that. It's hard for me to think about.
So,
yes, you can.
I want to ask you something, because you have brought this up in interviews, and this is a touchy subject. You have said in interviews that there was abuse in the home, and Brittany was afraid to reveal it because she was afraid. You have put that out there.
Let me say this to you. My number one obligation is not to the stepfather, it's not to Brittany. My number one obligation is to that beautiful child right there, Maleah.
I know that's right.
Justice.
Look at her, y'all. Look at her. She couldn't think of what to say because she's guilty. Because a real mother, you ready, you knew what you came to the show for, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah. I want to go to something that because Have You Seen Us podcast is one of those. Y'all salute to her for going out there searching for that baby. She said, I was hurt when I found out that Maleah's body was found by the city grass cutting people because they ran over a bag. Jesus. What did it do to you? The city lawnmowers ran over a garbage bag on the side of the road with her little body in it. She looked very irritated. Where's the anger? I'm a mother before anything. I mean anything. I'm a mother. I'm a white period. People don't like that. But my kids came first. All the time. All the time. You hear me, Naya? I don't know how I came across this story, but y'all know I be doing my research. And her face, it was something about her face that, I don't know. It was something about her little face that just captivated me. It just caught me. And I just clipped it. And to watch this mother and sit up her, because like I said, when you go on an interview, you already know that questions are going to be asked to you and, so many other stuff. It was Jordan. She said it was a cloud over the city every time we lose kids. In that manner, it's a cloud. So he hit himself in the head. That's how he got that mark. Apparently, Tarsha. Why is he stopping her from talking? Because he knew. He knew. He Yolanda, it's like, he didn't know, but he's learning. It's not his fault, but he's learning. Because, we do these interviews with these people, we can only give them a chance to talk before we start noticing. You get what I'm saying, Yolanda? We've been here many a time with even people over here, people all over these content creators platforms talking. And we watch and we wait and we watch the reactions. We watch everything about them. And this is what it is. This is how we know when somebody's guilty in a way. What part they played in it, that something's not right. But I like him.
For her, it's the priority. Where she is the priority. Everybody else are adults. They have to stand on their own 2 feet and answer for whatever they've done. But that child is the priority. And let me be straight with you. This man has to answer. He has to answer for what happened before she came up missing. He has to answer for that because there's a lot more here. His mother had no idea that this child was leaving the house with him in the morning. He's saying, I'm taking the child to daycare, but only later to learn from the investigation from both HPD and us that he was bringing the child back home sometimes with him. What is your purpose to tell this mother while she's going to class or she's going to work, Maleah's at daycare, yeah, I took her to school, but come to find out she's at home with you? Why would you lie and say she's at daycare, but have her in the house with you? The very day that she went to the airport, picked up by her friend, she leaves out the house believing Maleah is at the daycare and didn't even know he had snuck her back in the house as she walking out the door. What you doing, brother? What are you doing to this child?
Are you saying there was abuse?
Hell yeah, I'm saying there's abuse. And there's a whole lot more.
And you're saying,
but let me say this.
And you're saying that Brittany was not aware.
Let me say this.
I want to be clear.
She was not aware of a lot that was going on.
You were not aware.
But one thing I'm going to do.
She said.
Because right now the priority is still finding Maleah. I'm going to say a lot more before it's over. And I'm going to point directly to the facts of it. But I want to first find Maleah.
We can all understand that. Brittany, you've been talking to police, I understand.
I like him because you mean tell me she didn't know.
Every other day.
Every other day.
They have
she just
have they given you information, new information?
No.
Any new details?
No, I've asked.
Are they still questioning you about Darian Vince?
They'll ask me questions about information, like his card information or accounts and stuff like that.
Credit card? Okay. So you talk to police every other day. You're still talking to them?
Of course.
Have you talked to Darian Vince since he was arrested?
No.
Has he tried to reach out to you?
No.
Do you plan to visit him?
No.
You're done.
Yes.
Darian was arrested, I believe, at his brother's house. Have you talked to his brother?
Next question.
What? Wait a minute.
Have you talked to any of his family members?
We have spoken to the brother.
Well, what was wrong with asking that? That's when we get to that, what she got going on, because what was wrong with what he asked her? She just sitting there like, what did she go for? Jordan, child. What I'm just saying, what did she go for, y'all? I really want to know this. Like, go. That's why I say to people, why go places and not be ready for the questions asked? Because he's asking all the right questions. And the lawyer, like, what you getting upset for? To be an attorney, what did you bring her for as your client? She's too calm, Cindy. What up with Justin, my sister? Can't make it up. Let me.
Both of you? And
that's how he was really arrested. But we'll talk about that more. But we have talked with the brother, and that's actually what helped play a role in getting him arrested.
Can you say what was said?
No, not right now. But I do believe for a fact they were helping him hide out. And I do believe that a few of them know a whole lot more of what really went down with Maleah than what they've said.
Brittany, I know this is a tough question, but I have to ask. You've been vilified in social media. You've been followed. You've been harassed. People think you are partly to blame for what happened. What do you say to those people?
People are entitled to their own opinions.
What?
I remember looking at situations and being on the outside looking in, doing exactly what they're doing to me.
Yeah, that's alternative.
I know my truth. And I love my child.
Oh, thank you, Damika.
And can nobody take that from me? No matter how they feel. I'm not perfect, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I am, and nobody is. How dare you?
The family of Maleah's father, the Davis family, says you knew what was going on in the home and you failed to protect your daughter.
Move on from that. Don't answer that. Move on from that.
He said, don't answer that.
No, that goes in the CPS. Move on from that.
Oh, he's not an attorney. So who is?
We got a lot of questions on Facebook from viewers. People wanted to know, why did you leave your kids with Darian Vince when you went to your father's memorial?
What? Don't answer that.
I didn't pay for my ticket.
That ain't the question.
My aunt did.
So you're saying you couldn't afford to take them with you?
Exactly.
Could you not have placed them with other family members? Your mother, an aunt?
My aunt doesn't live here.
What about the Davis family?
The Davis family, Peyton went. Maleah could have went too.
And why didn't she?
They should have asked for her. I didn't even know if they wanted to come get paid.
What?
They told me last minute.
So when you left,
Let me get my mental together, y'all. They didn't ask for her. Was that supposed to be psychic? Is the baby father's in his family supposed to be psychic to go, oh, she better go somewhere. Let me ask, can I get my baby? Adjusted. I'm there. The fact that he keeps making her be quiet again, what did you take her for? Now she said she was going with someone else and they would have. Peyton went. We don't give a damn. Peyton ain't missing. He is. Let's see if he's definitely controlling the answers. Was the baby touched, y'all? Because I'm getting to what he said. The man, this host of the show said, Quinnell said she think the baby at daycare, he have at home. So what was he doing with at home? See, that's how you know when somebody's being they intentions aren't good. Have you seen this podcast? Because a baby's life should have no price on it. A baby that's missing, there's no price on that at all. Hey, Purple. You couldn't afford a ticket, so what was happening? Why'd you go? Why you didn't take your kids? You couldn't afford it. Then I just can't make you. Unless I can make proper arrangements. So abuse has been going on in the home and you're telling her to be quiet. Why? Because if abuse has been going on, my kids can't stay with you. You ain't even going to be here, first of all. But to know it's abuse going on in the home and the fact that you allowed him to keep your daughter after knowing, you ain't just find out. She didn't just find out that he's keeping her daughter home when she goes missing. She ain't just find that out. Again, what did they go for if he's going to control the answers, Latif? What did they go to?
You had no concern that Vince could or would harm your child?
No.
And you also got to understand, she's dealing with the death of her father. She's dealing with trying to get out of town to get to the services for her father. She's dealing with the stress of all of them trying to raise funds institutions to take care of the services of her father. Because that was
Hold on. Give me a second. Y'all came in and out. You know, people never want you to win when you're doing these kind of cases. They want to mess with the audio and cut it out. Yeah, it was breaking up, Naya. It was breaking up. That's why you enjoy people while they're on the earth. He was her attorney. Pookie Pushu and his daughter. Candy said, I understand the father passed away, but I'm taking my kids. I'm not going, period. Mm-hmm. How would you not know your child is in the house, especially a young child? As young as a baby girl, what was asleep when he so-called brought her back home? Mm-hmm. I did cut out Latif. Hey, Lori. Let me see if it'll play real quick. Yeah, hold on.
all of that. And, you know, hindsight is 2020. I guarantee you,
come on,
had she known some of the things that we've later learned, I don't believe this mother would have left that child with him one split second. But a lot of what was going on, she didn't know.
Come on, Auntie.
Your other children are no longer in your care. Do you think that's fair to you?
No.
Are you able to talk to them?
No.
Good. You can't even visit them? Do your other children know that Maleah is missing?
I don't know.
They're staying with other family members, correct?
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to visit them?
I can't talk about this. This is all CPS,
this is CPS
related.
stuff,
I don't,
right.
please, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. But she's had no contact.
All that is CPS related.
Yeah, she's had no contact.
Just a couple more questions. Volunteers have been out looking for your daughter. It doesn't look good. They've come up with nothing. Have you accepted the possibility that Maleah is no longer alive?
Hey, Pam. I mean, what do they come for? Whether they just make it a princess, it's irrelevant. Shit.
Let's move on to the next question.
Hell, y'all ain't answering nothing.
It's tough, but that is something you have to live with every day. I'm sure you have thought about this.
I have thought about it. I don't want to.
You don't want to accept it.
Yes, sir.
I think every parent in America would agree with you. We all hope that she is found and that she's okay. But she may not be.
She may not.
What's next for you?
I haven't thought about it.
Are you working? Are you able to work? Are you?
You know, everything for her right now is just stuck on where's Maleah. You know, it's kind of hard to talk about where you go from here when she's yet to have closure about where's Maleah. And until she gets that closure,
why was she working before she was missing,
in
sir?
her life, in her mind, in her heart, about what actually happened to her daughter and where her daughter is, there's never really closure. I think the only thing she can do at that point is survive. And that's what she's doing right now, just surviving, hoping to get some answers about where Maleah is.
Brittany, I thank you for your time. You're good. You're good. Very good. Thank you. I know that's difficult. I know that's difficult. Hang in there. I know this is not easy. I know it's not easy.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what, with Wix, you can.
In the middle of the search and investigation, so many Houstonians felt sympathy for Maleah's family. A special event was held at Brewster Park, paying tribute to the young girl.
I never know. It could have been my grandbaby.
Parents brought their daughters. Every face and every smile, somehow a vivid reminder that Maleah could have been their own.
This baby will never go to pre-K.
It's why Kokia Johnson decided to organize this vigil for Maleah.
It's just a pain right there that I just can't get away.
For more than 2 weeks now, Maleah's been missing.
I came here to show support for Maleah because she didn't deserve what she got done to her.
In that time, her stepfather's been arrested for tampering with a human corpse in connection to Maleah's disappearance. And Texas EquiSearch has temporarily suspended the search for the 4-year-old.
We're parents. We have kids. It hurts our heart to know that something like that could happen to children in our community, and the system failed her.
The community still wants answers.
We know she's in Heaven's Playground playing right now. We know she's not here no more. So we want to find her so she can have that peace, so she can rest in peace.
So with handwritten messages from children etched in chalk and dozens of balloons, they sent their prayers flying high, holding on to faith she'll be found, and hoping wherever she is, Maleah can feel a community's love.
Even though your stepfather, your mother, the system failed you, we love you as a community. Houston loves Maleah.
More than a week later, activist Quanell X removed himself as the spokesperson for Maleah's mother, saying he felt Bowens had not been truthful. This happening just after the reward for finding Maleah increased as investigators reached a near stalemate.
But I thought he was, be quiet, don't answer that. Don't say nothing. No, answer everything because you're a victim as well of abuse. But see, don't take her money and then try to drop her like the piss poor habit that she is. Because that's exactly what happened. Yeah, he did. He controlled that conversation. That's why I'm saying, why take her money and then drop her and say she wasn't being honest, because she wasn't being honest. That's why he had to stop her and control the conversation, Latif. It is, Big J. Shut up. People, she was rude. The Queen 84 salute. She was mad about the Christmas gifts. Have you seen what? Remember I said every case ain't for everyone. I get it, Latif. Yeah, I see the Queen. Hey, April. Yeah, I know I'm up here upset. I don't even have no words. This is my first time listening to it. Now he drops her after taking her money. We knew she was lying on that panel. She didn't have shit to say, sir. Whether it's for a TV appearance, Latif, I get it. Thank you, now, baby, again. Thank you for the support. Thank you, sister. He knew she was lying, right? I was so glad you covered this. My family from that area is familiar with it. It's a lot. Wish I see. These babies, they're not losing by strangers anymore. It's by the hands of their family, their mothers, their fathers, their mother and their father's significant others. He didn't touch his son, but you allowed this man because he was jealous. Because he wasn't the man that her father was. And you knew that. You knew that. And because that man left your sorry ass to go and build a better life for himself. Because he was probably not doing so good when he was with you too. You look like the type of bitch to bring a man down and just keep him, stable. Not lift him up to be a better man. Because, see, she didn't even work. She didn't even work. He said, where are you working? What are you going to do? Well, she can't work right now. Why? To keep her mind occupied. To keep her head above water. What was she going to live off? The community donations? Exactly, Denise. I know, T. Aunt Natty, she wasn't working. I mean, I don't know how we went from that to, he said, what are you going to do for work? It ain't stranger danger, Amber, no.
Solving this missing persons case. Maleah Davis's innocent smile had triggered memories of another little child HPD Chief Art Acevedo once fought to find.
I was there when we found the body, and man, he's like just a little lifeless body. I mean, you take that with you. You don't forget that.
His name was Colton Turner. He was just 2 years old, and in 2014, his body was found in a shallow grave in Southeast Austin. His mother and her boyfriend now serving time for their role in the toddler's death.
There's something about kids that really touches all of us.
Now it's Maleah the chief is fighting for.
We already know and believe that she's dead.
Police have a suspect, Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vance, still in custody for tampering with a corpse.
I'm sure that if he really wanted to, he'd probably tell us exactly where to find that body. And that's just an opinion based on what I know so far.
So far, silence. The searching suspended. The balloon releases have stopped. That's why the chief wants you to pay attention.
We want to reignite the public interest. We want people to think of their own children.
If you've seen this car or this man during the time Maleah disappeared, report it to police.
Someone out in a wooded area or in a bayou area or even outside of the Houston area, in the Galveston, anybody that might have seen something suspicious involving an individual that matches the description of the stepdad, we'd want to know.
Acevedo won't talk about Maleah's mom, Brittany Bowens, or definitively answer if she's in the clear or not. The focus right now, he says, needs to be on where is Maleah.
A lot of people have moved on. The media has moved on. I'm glad that you have not moved on, and we're not going to move on until we get the final justice here, until we bring this little girl home.
People think you are partly to blame for what happened.
25 minutes after their sit-down with Lynn Cannon, Quanto Lex says Brittany Bowens admitted talking with Darion Vance, the suspect in her 4-year-old daughter's disappearance, after his arrest. Details so sensitive, he gave them only to police.
And it also said to me when we was riding in my car, what she believed really happened to Maleah. At that point, I knew what needed to be done. And so I arranged to quickly go and meet as soon as I could with the investigators at the highest levels of this case and share with them everything that we had learned and discovered.
Speaking for the first time since cutting ties, Bowens, Quanell told us Brittany's sister asked him to help Maleah's mom manage media and her emotions. 2 days on the job, Quanell saw red flags. He claims sources in Brittany's own family told him troubling details about Maleah's care, and in private, Cornell says he saw a different Brittany than the one seen on TV.
There was not a lot of tears. She was always calm, fluid, clear. Now, whenever there was a public thing, she would break down.
Still, the activist hung around, he claims, to get information he feared police could not. Bowens did not answer calls or return our messages. Law enforcement sources did confirm that Cornell told prosecutors about Brittany's words, her behavior, and his suspicions. Cornell does not believe Brittany knows where to find Maleah, but her former advocate is bothered by other details he says she shared with him.
She knows the truth, and she knows that eventually she's going to have to answer for that.
By the end of May 2019, the case reached its biggest breakthrough yet. Maleah's stepdad, Darion Vence, confessed to Quanell X about the young girl's death. Vence also shared the location of where Maleah's body could be found.
He says it was an accident, and he confessed to me where he dumped her body.
Almost 4 weeks after the Amber Alert was first issued for Maleah Davis, some hope her body might finally be found.
It's in Arkansas.
Community activist Quanell X says he had a jailhouse meeting with Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vence.
But he told me exactly where it is in Arkansas, that he dumped the body in Arkansas, and he was very specific with the amount of distance and time.
Vence has been charged in connection with Maleah's disappearance, but hasn't said he had anything to do with it.
He pulled over in Arkansas, got out of the car, walked off the side of the road, and dumped her body off the side of the road.
You believe him, or you think it's another crazy story?
No, I think it's the truth. I don't think he was lying to me. I think he was telling the truth. Many men have confessed these type of crimes to me.
Texas EquiSearch founder Tim Miller thinks it's true too.
Gonna jump in an airplane, 3 o'clock flight to Arkansas, and see if we can get her recovered.
As law enforcement near Hope, Arkansas is already several hours into its search, EquiSearch crew members board a plane in Ryerz heading to the area. They've been searching for weeks, but they're optimistic that maybe after this trip, little Maleah will finally be on her way back home.
In a garbage bag tossed and run over by mowers along this lonely curve of I-30 in Fulton, Arkansas.
It was a sight that I wouldn't want anybody to see.
What's left of someone's child rattled searchers.
I have grandbabies, so I know what children's clothes look like.
Shook a sheriff.
So she said, 4-year-old little girl. I was like, is it Maleah Davis?
And pulled Houstonian Jimmy Davis off the road.
There are some personal risks.
This flew in based on a tip. Activist Quanell X told them he spoke with missing 4-year-old Maleah Davis's stepfather, Darion Vence, a suspect in jail accused of foul play. Quanell claims Vence told him Maleah died by accident, causing Vence to panic, drive north, and dump her body in a trash bag along the freeway in Hope, Arkansas. Sheriff James Singleton, a grandpa himself, immediately sent 8 deputies.
We just showed up and tried to put an end to this search.
After an hour, they got a tip that a litter crew found a garbage bag covered in blood and worms 12 miles south. It was there 3 days and accidentally hit by mowers before investigators got there. Detectives know it's a child, but could not say for sure if it's Maleah. But they found clothes, jewelry, and enough clues for Hempstead County's coroner to fly remains back to Houston. Miller, who paid for the plane, has no doubts.
Unfortunately, she was found in a condition that she was, but she's found. But she's found. So, you know, the community knows, the family knows, and we put this behind us.
The body that was found in Arkansas yesterday arrived here in Houston at 11:30 last night. Activist Quanell X was there as the plane landed. He's allegedly the only one able to secure the information that led to the whereabouts of the body.
It's been a very, very, very rough day. It's been a mentally, spiritually, and psychologically draining day. But I just want to say to everybody here in the city of Houston, everybody around the world that has prayed for Maleah, she's home. She's back home.
A spokesperson with the medical examiner's office confirmed the body is here at the Harris County Forensic Science Center. This is where tests will be performed, and an official determination on its identity is expected to be made. We don't know how long that could take. For much of the day, we've been trying to connect with some of the people linked to Maleah Davis. We've reached out to more than half a dozen of her relatives, many of whom we've spoken with in the past, but were unable to connect with them. A neighbor told us yesterday Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens, moved last week and doesn't know where she is. outside of her Maleah was ever seen.
3 days after a child's remains were found on the side of an Arkansas highway, we now know for certain it is 4-year-old Maleah Davis.
It's going to get worse and worse for him.
KHOU legal expert Gerald Tree says having Maleah's body helps prosecutors build a tougher case against Maleah's stepdad, Darion Vance.
I'll give you a guarantee. That child didn't kill herself and didn't carry herself to Arkansas. The government will charge probably first-degree murder and ask for the death penalty. It'll be a capital murder case.
For now, the DA's office says Vance remains charged with tampering with a corpse, in a statement adding additional charges will be filed as the evidence supports doing so. Investigators were able to find Maleah's remains after Quanell X met with Vance in jail. Quanell says he confessed that Maleah was dead, that it was an accident, and where he dumped the remains.
If I'm a defense lawyer, first line of defense is to throw that statement out.
Tree says if Quanell went into the jail to speak to Vance after a request from police, then it could be excluded from a trial because it wouldn't be considered a voluntary statement. Our legal expert says he's also watching if others will be charged in this case, likely for helping Vance cover up Maleah's death. Police say someone dropped Vance off at Methodist Hospital as a part of his concocted story the night Maleah was first reported missing.
I have a lot of emails coming into me from viewers wondering about the mother. How much complicity is the mother involved in this?
HPD Chief Art Acevedo released a statement today in part saying, "We are saddened by the confirmation of the identification of the remains. However, we are heartened by the fact this sweet child can now receive the proper burial she deserved. HPD will continue to work to ensure the person or persons responsible for her death and the attempted cover-up are held accountable to the fullest extent of the law." Bottom line, Tree says investigators and prosecutors work to get justice for Maleah is far from over.
But it's too early to tell. This is moving into chapter 1 of a story that seems to have caught the attention of the nation.
2 years after Maleah Davis's remains were found, her stepfather would be sentenced to 40 years in prison. This after pleading guilty to injury to a child and tampering with a corpse. However, many people, including the man Vance confessed to, believe the sentence was not enough.
Houston activist Quanell X
They had been looking for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and they couldn't get anything out of him.
easily recalls the confession he got from Darion Vance 2 years ago regarding the disappearance of his 4-year-old stepdaughter, Maleah Davis.
Even the feds couldn't find out where she was, and I was able to meet with him about 35 minutes, and he told me everything that he did.
Quanell says that includes strangling little Maleah after striking her following an argument with her mother. This surveillance video showed her following Vince into their Southwest Houston apartment the day police believe she died. Quanell says he was fully prepared to testify against Vince before he pleaded guilty today to injury to a child and tampering with a corpse.
I don't believe that 40 years is a justifiable sentence for Mr. Vance based on what he did and what he confessed to me that he did to young Maleah Davis.
In a statement, Harris County District Attorney Kim Ogg said, quote, "Children are the most vulnerable members of our community, and young Maleah's death is tragic. We may never have all of the answers in this case, and our thoughts are with the family." Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens, was never charged in relation to the case. Her grandmother told me today that it's been a long 2 years.
Happy birthday to you.
Since then, friends and family have gathered to celebrate birthdays, and a bridge near where Maleah's body was found in Arkansas was renamed in her honor.
And it's shameful if real justice does not come in her case.
The amount of support for Maleah Davis and her family seemed endless. A bridge in Arkansas would be named after the young girl months after her remains were found. This just one of many tributes held in Maleah's honor.
There were balloons and bubbles, sunshine and singing.
Happy birthday to you.
Everything you'd want at a 5-year-old's birthday party. The only thing missing from this one, the birthday girl herself.
If she was alive, we'd celebrate it. And now that she's in heaven, we still celebrate.
Maleah Davis's great-great-grandmother, Charlie May, says it's a heavy day, but also
knowing that she's already in heaven with you, Master, we thank you.
An important one.
And I'd like to always remember her the way she was.
At just 4 years old, Maleah had already suffered more than most do in their lifetime. Her body found on the side of the road in Arkansas last May. Her stepfather, Darian Vince, charged in her disappearance.
I just want justice for Maleah. I think she deserves it.
The park was full of pink, Maleah's favorite color, packed with family and friends, even complete strangers,
I
all
dropped
to
some pink
wish
hearts for
one
Maleah.
little girl.
She didn't even have a chance. 4 years old, only 4 years on this planet. She's gone.
Happy birthday.
I was compelled to come and walk and support the family in any way I could.
It's a party they'll always plan to attend.
There are certain stories throughout our years that definitely touch our hearts, and this is definitely one of them. It touched the nation, and so to make sure that she's honored traditionally every year, absolutely, this should continue.
It's a Maleah story, but it's about all the children and about how we have to keep our children safe and protect them at all costs.
A party that proves Maleah may be lost, but she'll always be loved.
Happy birthday, Aaliyah.
Oh my goodness. "40 years. More hearts." This is crazy. This is crazy, y'all. Welcome, Kristen. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, she got out scot-free, you know. With nothing. The fake cries. You know, it's bad when somebody picks up your case and then, you know, throw you to the side and y'all my legs. I got my legs over this rock and just to kind of clear my mind and get my thoughts together. Yeah, I hope she'll never get her kids back. Yeah, Denise, we do. And I think it's still more we can do in Florida. Have you seen this podcast? I need to reach out to you today. I think it's more that we can still do to help get that baby more justice, because that time is nothing. That time is nothing. I'd be so sad, y'all. I'm so tired of doing these kind of stories in a sense. But I know there's, what can we, if we stay quiet, we don't get no justice, you know. There was an interview Mom did. She was looking happy, high, her and her mammy. I want to switch gears a little bit. And I want to talk about, because I did a news clip on this, the Ozzy story. Because, you know, a lot of times with these stories, it ends with SA, a lot of it. Because it still goes to why was he keeping Maleah from daycare? Why was he keeping Maleah sheltered? I don't look good in orange and I don't play with others, but I for damn sure lose my government name for a child. Not just my own. I can't stand these evil ass people. At all. Let me see something. I have to do that tomorrow. Yeah, Shane talked about Elizabeth Olsen, what happened to her. This is our new normal. I keep telling y'all that these stories unfortunately keep being our new normal. And give me a second, guys. Let me check this one. Because I did have this one. I'm really tired. I know we got to be the voice, but yeah. I'm going to go. Y'all know how I am. Damn. Let me go back to this story because I'm lost for words, y'all. That one kind of took me out. So I was doing a news clip about Ozzy. Ozzy had 5 kids by her father. I want to hear her interview and stop it and ask some questions. And how do we get her, you know? When does it stop? Hold on, you guys. Let me play it.
Very sensitive topics, is for mature audiences only, and contains depictions of various forms of trauma. Viewer discretion advised.
If I say anything, if I report anything, he's going to kill my siblings who he still had at home. He says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you away to deliver this baby. He loaded everybody up in our truck and drove us to Florida, where he was born, because he decided he wanted his child born in the same state that he was born in. Had me drive a lot of the way, and I'm in labor. Yes, I'm in labor. My father could not find a hotel. And
this is the Aziza Kibi story. I touched on it earlier and I said I wanted to talk about it. I never really got into this story. I never really heard about it really until I was just doing my news clips. And I just want to kind of listen to it with you guys. Hey, Lil D. Florida is a chain to y'all, but heavily protected by Disney.
We ended up parking on a campsite. He bought tents, we pitched tents, and that's where I gave birth.
Aziza, holy cow.
I had some faith because at least my children were away from my father. In his mind, they were his royal blue blood children, but I didn't trust that would stop him from my girls as well. A slight relief that they were no longer in his environment or his vicinity. However, that did not stop them from proceeding and taking my children from my custody and putting them into foster care, not knowing what was going to happen to them. I cried and I cried. And then, of course, he blamed me. So his abuse got worse. My father was convicted and sentenced to 50 years in prison. So it was all worth it. Yeah. It was all worth it.
Shalise Ansola, and this is Cults to Consciousness, where we discuss leaving high-demand religions and organizations and finding healing and independence through awareness and true individual sovereignty. If you're only listening, head on over to YouTube where you can see our new studio, work in progress. We're so excited. We have so much news to share. I don't know at what point this is going to be dropping and if we've already shared it, but check our community posts because we're doing some live updates over there. So today's guest, we had her on already. We knew that we needed to come back and further tell part of her story because it is just so vast. There's so much to talk about, and it's so important to talk about the healing journey afterwards as well. So today's guest, a little brief intro. You don't necessarily have to watch the first one if you are just landing here right now. You can go back and get the details later. What we talked about in the first episode is a father as a cult leader. So this father isolated his children, and our guest today, he abused her at a very, very young age. She went on to get pregnant 5 times by him, and he kept her so isolated that she was unable to escape until now. So we're going to go into first episode. We talked a bit about her escape and the process afterwards. Today we're going to zoom in on that and zoom in on a story that we did skip over the last time. So thank you so much for joining us, Aziza Kibi.
Thank you, Shalise. It's great to be back. It's great to be back.
I'm so happy to have you back. I just was full of so many questions at the end of our last one that I was like, please come back. There's so much I want to say. And even after this, we might do a live if you're willing, because I feel like our audience is going to have questions too. And it's so clear that people are interested in your story. And I mentioned this in the first episode, that it's just so amazing that you're willing to
Let me
tell
go to
your
the first
story
one.
and
Yeah,
be
hold
vulnerable
on.
about this. Is for mature audiences only and contains depictions of various forms of trauma. Viewer discretion advised.
When I went into my parents' bedroom and he was standing there, he told me that he needed to teach me how to be a woman. And that's the first time he
Be careful, Denise.
me. He started molesting my sisters and then keep me compliant by saying, well, if you don't want me to go to this sister, then you won't complain.
No.
I won't touch your sister. So that became a part of the control aspect. I started trying to fight him, and then he just became more physically abusive. Now, by this time, my mother knew that he was abusing me. It wasn't like I could go to my mom and say, Mommy, Daddy was choking me this time. I did not have any fear as far as giving birth was concerned. What I was afraid of was having a girl. My father could possibly target her. My father was still trying to date women, even though they were struggling financially. So he just put so much into a new woman to seduce her and bring her in. My mother we started having a lot of conflict. The reason.
Ain't that crazy that she was like, okay with like, if I'm pregnant, I don't want to have a girl. By her father. The grooming of it in the mind that is set in a child with her father, to where she's not thinking like, I'm pregnant by my dad. She's saying, I hope I don't have a girl. This is crazy.
Why I was showing her attitude, according to her, is because I felt that I was on her level because I was having sex with her husband. So she told me one day, I stole her husband. She said, Aziza, I cannot compete with you because you're a child and a swat likes.
You tell your child, I cannot compete with you. Get some rest, love. Get you some rest, Wish. I cannot compete with you. You're a child. Isn't that sick?
Children. Of course, that created even more of a divide between us. And, you know, I lost my mom from a very early age. And I did have a moment where I felt like, well, why are all of these things happening to me?
And that's what Tiara was saying. I don't know if anybody captured when she said that. She said she had lost her mother at an early age. So now that I'm hearing it again, I don't know what that feels like. I really don't know what that feels like, to lose your mother at an early age.
Elise Ansola, and this is Cults to Consciousness, where we discuss leaving high-demand religions or organizations and finding healing and independence through awareness and true individual sovereignty. If you're only listening and you'd prefer to see our faces and our new studio, go to our YouTube channel at Cults to Consciousness. We love it when you guys interact with the post. It really helps boost the algorithm. It helps our guests feel seen and welcomed and validated. And we just love to read your comments. So today's guest, we found her through Instagram, actually. She has quite a big platform over there. Speaking about, today we're specifically talking about high control people within a family dynamic. So within her family, her father was extremely abusive. She ended up having 5 pregnancies through him. We're going to be talking about all the ways in which he implemented extreme control in her household and control obviously over her and her entire family, and how she was able to escape that. So thank you so much for joining us, Aziza Kibi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I was so happy when we finally connected. I think I'd been pinging your page for a while, but you get so much engagement. I'm sure it was hard to see all the comments. I was like, yay, I got her. She responded. So yes, your story, it's a heartbreaking one. It is one that I personally can relate to in my own way from my own traumas. I feel like today's episode is going to be a little heavy for those who have any sort of traumas or backgrounds or hard time listening to CSA. Please take care today, or skip ahead if you would like, skip through the chapter marks, or just skip the episode. That's okay. We can catch you on the next one too. I just want to make sure everyone is prepared for the subject matter we are talking about today. And I just think it's a really important story to share because it is so common. I feel like people don't realize how incredibly common CSA is, especially within a family dynamic. And so I think it's important to cover how families can essentially act like cults if there is a family member, tends to be the father in most cases, putting those methods of control on the family. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing and being vulnerable with us today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, Shanice, and I commend the work that you do, and of course, send you continued healing energy for your experience. So
thank you. I appreciate that. So I think it's important to talk about how your father evolved into the person that he became, because it feels like initially things weren't that way until he started implementing some changes and taking on some new ideologies that essentially shaped your family.
Yes. So it's something, because I do get the question of if my father was abused in the past and what was his behavior before he started abusing me or abusing my mom. And he was just a dynamic personality. A lot of people knew him. They respected him in our communities. As far as the point in my life where I became aware that people were drawn to him and people liked him, and we'd have these big family functions, and no matter what, if my parents gave a party, like the whole city was there. He was the popular guy in the town that we lived in. So when he started abusing me, there was this kind of this fear of, well, a lot of people like him. And of course, I'm a child. I'm only 8 years old. but because of my love and admiration for him, it did have an effect on how the seduction aspect of the abuse played out. Because I did love him, I respected him, and of course as a child, you know, you're proud of your father when other people like him as well. So as far as seeing the change, I saw someone that I loved and was fun. He loved to play with children. That's a thing. He really enjoyed playing with children. He gave me, my siblings and I, a lot of attention. He homeschooled us. He was really focused on kind of creating very intelligent, I want to say, intelligent children. So he exposed myself and specifically my brother to different technologies and topic matters and stuff that was really beyond our age range. But other than that,
and you know, we got to have uncomfortable conversations sometimes, Corey D. We got to have uncomfortable conversations. Because if we keep having comfortable conversations, where does the education come from? Where does the red flag, the situations like this come from? Where do we help in? Lord, they do. And Dark Angel, welcome, love. Mm-hmm. Mm. Hey, honey. We do. And that's the part we even work at everything in life. We got to stop being comfortable. Not just with conversation, in life, period. That's how a lot of the red flags get missed in the home. Being comfortable. Being comfortable, so comfortable with this man, we miss the red flags, that we miss our kids and their reactions, their actions. We miss so much. Being comfortable. And I got to have these kind of conversations with y'all to let y'all know that this is real. Jordan, I'm just being honest. We can run, we can hide, but guess what? This shit's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. With or without us listening and talking about it, this shit is still going to happen. Because if we don't have uncomfortable situations, how do we come up with solutions? To make these fathers and these men and these women uncomfortable. Thank you, Denise. I love you. She said it's sad for a dad to do these things to his own baby girl. That's why I F with you. I F with you too, Jordan. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Y'all welcome, Elizabeth. That's why this stuff gets swept under the rug. Yeah. Thank you, Jordan. I love you. Thank you, sister. And welcome to the... But again, this is why we, yeah. I always tell my mates to have those hard conversations with their kids. You have to. They comfortable, Cindy? They're comfortable. They're comfortable with their husbands. They're comfortable with the family members, the uncles that want to come and get drunk and talk to them. That we miss it every time. Every time. Damn, Cordy. Hey, Josh, salute. Happy Friday to you. Josh, drop your link, please. He said, see, that's the problem. We got too comfortable. Yeah. Yeah. That's why these conversations be hard, but we got to talk about it. Cordy said, Pedo had the nerve to tell me I was always so pretty. He said he wanted to marry me when I grew up. But how do we get healing, Corey? Because that's what we're here for, to talk about it, right? We can't heal if we stay comfortable with keeping it locked in. We are gonna be uncomfortable as a parent's job to protect what the fuck we gotta address this crap. We do. Thank you, Denise. All right, sister. Be careful, okay? Have a good appointment. Y'all ever been around family who says go put some clothes on, uncle, so he's on the way? My cousin, I'm grown now. My first cousin. Oh, y'all know they never let me around. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Josh. Make Josh feel comfortable, and always remember to pour into Josh what y'all pour into me. Great content create, okay?
But other than that, his interaction with my mom was loving as far as what I saw. And then one day I heard them screaming and he was yelling at her. She was crying. And this was from behind the closed door of their bedroom. And I think that was, as a child, I might have been maybe 6 or 7 years old, that I really was like, okay, this is a really scary side of daddy, inclusive of the fact that he was very strict. He was very strict. But he still did a lot of fun things with us. Like he would take us blueberry picking and going to see the Statue of Liberty was like a normal thing. Like he really exposed
make sure you welcome
me and
Josh,
my
okay?
siblings to a lot of things that other children in my family and at our age wasn't being exposed to. So as far as we was concerned, we had a fun life. But then, of course, when it came time for discipline, I mean, my father, he would beat us very bad. And I grew up seeing him even spank babies. And I remember like he spanked me when I was in a walker. I remember that clearly. He would spank my legs really, really hard. So clearly there were signs of his abusive nature, even though he was well-liked and extremely charismatic.
Yes, and I'm glad that you brought up the duality of that, where it's not always all bad and it's not always all good. There's a mixture of things, and that's what makes it so difficult when you have an abusive person, even within relationships outside of the family, where when it's good, it feels good and you want it to keep going, but then when it's bad, it can be really bad. And so understanding that both of those can exist at the same time. So I'm sure it was really confusing as a child. So you had mentioned to me in our call that he started learning some ideologies, maybe some African things that he wanted to implement, some polygamy, wanting to change names. How did that start to impact the family?
So he changed his name from Eric McGill, which was his given name, to Aswad Ayinde before I was even born.
We're just starting.
And interestingly enough, when he signed my birth certificate, he forgot that he changed his name. So, and he was a teenager. This is him at like 18 years old. And he did this legally. Yeah. And I think a lot of it was because of his self-education on the history of Black people in America. And he considered his given name to be his slave name because, of course, it was.
This is the story. Have you seen this podcast of Aziza Kibi? Remember I did a little clip of her earlier, my news clip. And, you know, her having 5 kids by her father. And the abuse and how everything started. This is part 1. I want to do part 2 tomorrow. You know we got you, sister. You know we got you. And you know, Sassy, we have to talk to our kids. We got to have uncomfortable conversations with our children. Like Statements just said, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what somebody your child might meet come from that side, and you know, of things. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of PTSD that's not being dealt with professionally. One more problem in society. I agree. I do. And, you know, I was telling them that we got to have these uncomfortable conversations the same way it's uncomfortable to talk about Naziah, Kimani, Maleah, and so many other kids that we haven't even covered. Lori Page. So it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me. But in order to educate my children, I got to talk to them about this. Because do I think my kids tell me everything they went through when I wasn't a part of their life? I don't think so. Oh, to God, it's never a story out, but I got to be able to know how to deal with it and to handle it. You know, the resources and the steps that we need to take to get my kids through this trauma, but without it being a generational curse too. Y'all know how many women are holding secrets in for 80 plus years, 60, 50 years, only for them feeling guilty. Didn't want to be shunned away from the family. Don't want to be embarrassed. Not knowing it's not their fault, but they carried it for so many years. Well, now, you know, we want to make that platform available for we can open up to heal. To see if, hey, is there a therapist in here? Somebody that knows a therapist that we can connect with. Have you seen us podcast was going through something yesterday, but she got some resources and called, you know what I'm saying? Because we didn't want to lose our sister. But she had to have an uncomfortable conversation with us. But she had to make a decision for herself because it was life or death.
Passed down through the generations, originally to his ancestors by their slave owner. So he wanted to more embrace the roots of African Americans, which would be people from Africa who was brought here against their will.
Hold on, y'all. That was a lot today. The devil's a lie today. She said, so true, sis. Yeah. One of the things that should change, especially for children, let's believe them first, follow up. And of course, I know kids lie, but good police will know. That's a good one, light them up. It is. Alma Magazine. I know that sounds crazy. I actually don't do social media. I'm sorry. I learned my lesson from MySpace. Hello. I may have aged my late 20-year-old self. Kids can't make up details. Not at all.
So I'm curious what his religious beliefs were, because it seems like maybe a mishmash of things, or was any religion involved, or was it just this African way that he had grasped onto?
It was definitely a mishmash because at some point he was going to his mother's church. She was a Christian Baptist. He was going there regularly and was very involved. If I remember correctly, they even offered for him to become a deacon there. He never took up the ministry, I think that's what you call it. But he also studied Judaism. He also studied commit. Like, I remember at one point he was very involved with a religious group in New York. At the time, it seemed pretty new. And the leader was titled the Shechem, and their belief system was rooted in Egyptian beliefs. And the Shechem had multiple wives, and my father took his family on a road trip to Virginia to go and witness one of the weddings. So he definitely explored various types of religion and kind of focused in on one at each time. At one point, he wore a Star of David and labeled himself as Jewish. Like I said, he was involved in Christianity, but it was more definitely just a mashup. At the end of the day, he had his own belief system, or he structured his own spiritual belief system from aspects of different religions.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about your day-to-day as a child. You said you were homeschooled and isolated, not able to have friends outside of the home. So what was that like for you?
Well, it was normal.
You know, that's what people that hold secrets and stuff do, they stay in isolation with their children and things like that. Is it normal now that we don't see kids outside due to social media, due to phones and game systems? Yeah, but that's something to keep an eye on too. A lot of kids and they're sheltered inside the home. If we go back to 7 Mile Radio, what he said about Naziah, the friend Devin that was there with Shannon, he was like, yeah, you never seen them outside, only to take the trash. They stayed in the backyard, but it's a gate. And Shannon was like, no, they didn't. They played outside. No, y'all sheltered them. So nobody would never know. Because, once you let a kid out that's being touched or inappropriate things are going on in the home, you can't stop a kid from talking. That's what kids do. So you keep them sheltered inside the home. That way that those secrets stay in the home. Those secrets don't get out. Everything is what's done in the home stays in the home. That is a red flag.
It was normal for me because that is the only thing I was used to. It wasn't a circumstance where, I was in school and then one day I was taken out of school. So I didn't really have much to compare it to. Mm-hmm. I think as a child, you are, I don't want to say susceptible because that makes it, well, no, you are. You're vulnerable to the belief systems of your parents, whether they're right or wrong. Yeah. So whatever my father decided was what it was. It was what it was, and it was the truth. When he decided to homeschool us, for me, I did not see that as different at the time as anyone else. It wasn't until I got a little older, and I would say probably about 7 years old, and I recognized that my cousins were going somewhere to go to school, and I wasn't. I was staying home, and at that time, my parents had a structured day for us as far as schooling. My mom was the teacher. We'd have tests. We were required to read books, and in addition, my grandmother's boyfriend or partner at the time worked with the Board of Education in some capacity. I'm not clear how, but my father would get a lot of textbooks from him. Now, they were way beyond our age level. It was way beyond my age level. I think I was studying social studies from high school textbooks when I was 10 years old. And it was more information than what my cousins had access to. So then we became the cool kids. I became the cool girl as far as my cousins were concerned. Now, this is all before my father cut off communication or stopped me and my siblings from having access to our extended.
Yeah, this is the beginning. She had 5 kids by her father. And she said at the beginning, you're going to hear it in the story. She said it when she got pregnant, and that's how much he groomed her and had her mind, Latif. Because we at 13, our girls still playing with little toys and shit. Little, you know what I'm saying? Or they just now get into their girly phase and stuff like that, cute pink things and stuff like that. Want to decorate, bedazzle their room or something. Not saying if I get pregnant by my father, hey sister, if I get pregnant by my father, as long as I have a boy. Who's thinking like that at 13? What child is thinking like this at 10 or 11? If I get pregnant by my dad, I hope it's a boy so he won't touch him. Pregnancy should not even be in the mind at all. And the mother said she couldn't compete with her. Her mother told her she couldn't. I know it's sad. Her mother said she couldn't compete with her. I can't compete with you. You're a child, because how much infatuated the father was with her, Latif, than her own mother. But the fact that the mother stayed around and allowed this to happen to her daughters. She is just as sick. She is just as sick. I don't even call that desperate at this point. I don't know what to call that. Okay, let me know. Imperfect. Because we can still implement that. I want to visit all my sisters and implement things. That's part of it. It could be a safe home. We can get grants for that and everything. Because I know some sisters that I have in the Ryder family that can help us make that happen. And I want to help you make that happen. It doesn't have to stop. And I will be sure to visit the D. What part? Like Detroit. Detroit, because I don't mind helping. And I would love to connect with Tooth and see if what she can do as well in Perfect Art to help you. Because I know Tooth from the D. She said that's crazy. Mm-mm. The ultimate. The world needs more of you and Perfect. They do. They do. Absolutely, sis. That's what we're here for.
Family, but my cousins thought we were the coolest thing around because we were very, very smart. Helped them breeze through their homework because my brother and I were studying and functioning at a much higher level than the public school system in New Jersey in the 80s were teaching kids.
I know, that's right.
So they just looked to us to help them with their homework, and it was simple. It was easy for us. So at some point, someone my father knew who, I don't know if they worked for the Board of Education, but apparently they got wind of my brother's and my intelligence levels. So they wanted to come and test us. And my brother tested in the 98th percentile of some of the most intelligent children in New Jersey. And my test results were 15 points below genius. And they wanted to put us in a gifted program. And my father was completely against it. He said, well, why would you want to take these children out of the environment that gave them this high intelligence level in the first place? So I never heard from this person again. Now, interestingly enough, this was all very close to my father starting to molest me. And it's funny because I look back on how these stages in my life and in my upbringing lined up, and it's feeling so intentional from his part.
Okay, I
even was reading in a lot of my studies that a vegetarian diet, I don't know how truthful this is because, you can get information from different sources, even if they are accredited sources. But they said that a vegetarian diet makes a person more docile, and you'll find different cult leaders or different controlling people adopting or making their followers adopt a vegetarian diet so they are more agreeable with being controlled, so to speak.
Interesting.
Right. So now I'm like, okay. So my father turned vegetarian. I mean, him and my mom turned vegetarian a couple of years before he started abusing me. However, when I was a little child, when I was maybe about 1 year old, apparently he already decided to raise his children vegetarian. So my mom told me a story about my aunt trying to feed me chicken noodle baby food, and how my father had a fit. He also was against vaccinations. So apparently my mom took me to the doctor without his permission and got me vaccinated. And after that, I started displaying allergic reactions. I got eczema all over my body from the vaccination site. But at the same time, he was still eating fish. We wasn't allowed to eat any type of meat, but then he was still eating fish and dairy. But then at some point, it was recognized that I was allergic to fish.
That's crazy. The control part, Denise, what you just said. You heard say he was still eating the fish and the dairy, but we was vegetarians. Feeding the kids leaves. Not saying nothing's wrong with how you implement meals in the home, but isn't that for everybody? What are you teaching? What was he teaching the kids?
selfish. So when I think back on some of all of these behaviors and how they lined up with when he started molesting me, I was wondering, like, well, was all of it intentional? You know, was some of the things that he was doing that seemed completely unrelated to the abuse, was it because he had learned or read somewhere that this would be a mechanism for control? I don't know. I don't know, because I always wonder, even with other abusers, specifically sexual and physical abusers, like, you know, R. Kelly, P. Diddy, a lot of their behaviors are the same. And I'm like, I know they're not all sitting in a class getting tips on how to control people, you know, and how to intimidate people. But for some reason, they seem to learn these mechanisms and they end up working.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk about some of these mechanisms. Something that you had mentioned to me was that you thought that all fathers did this to their children. And so is that something that he intentionally told you or implied, or what were the ways in which he made it seem like what he was doing was okay?
So yeah, he told me just straight out. When that day I was 8 years old, and it was my mom told me that my father wanted to speak to me. And as I mentioned before, my father was strict. So if you got called away privately to talk to him, it was because he was in trouble. However, when I went into my parents' bedroom and he was standing there, it wasn't because I was in trouble. He was commending me and praised me, giving me accolades. And then he told me that he needed to teach me how to be a woman. And that's the first time he molested me.
8 years old.
His explanation, he expanded on why he was doing what he was doing to me. And the reason was that all fathers did this with their daughters, and it was to teach them how to be a woman. So that was, you know, he explicitly told that from the jump.
Yes,
the other thing that he told me, of course, was that I had to keep it a secret. But then that was a conflict in my mind, because I'm like, well, if this is something everybody is doing, then why does it need to be a secret? But as a kid, you accept what your parent tells you, and you know, ask questions, maybe when you're an adult, years and years later. But at the time, yeah, I didn't question it. I wondered, well, that doesn't make sense, but okay. And that's what he maintained.
Okay. It seemed like there was a lot of moving around or unrest within your home life. Was this later down the road? When did it happen that you started building your own house?
When I was 14. By the time my father started molesting me when I was 8, then I started being more resistant and fighting him back when I turned 11. And that was actually after he sodomized me as punishment for taking his cheesecake.
Oh my God.
So it was at that time I was like, this can't be right. This can't be right, because it was so violating. With some of the other things, though I wasn't comfortable, though I didn't want to participate, my father did use seduction tactics, and there was a lot of grooming, a lot of explaining in a positive way. It seems like ironic to even say that, but making me accept what he was doing to me from a loving fatherly perspective. But then after he did that, there was nothing. It was painful. It was a punishment. Like when he starts using sex to punish his child, that was it was completely heartbreaking for me. And after that, I started resisting even more. Before, I would question him. It would annoy him. But then after that, I started trying to fight him. And then he just became more physically abusive. Now, by this time, my mother knew that he was abusing me. So I didn't have an ally in the situation. So even though I was trying to fight back, it wasn't like I could go to my mom and say, Mommy, Daddy was choking me this time. So that was for me. He cut off communication with my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. He would not allow my siblings and myself or my mom to speak to or even acknowledge my grandparents, my aunts, my cousins. So now we were...
And that's what they do, you know, it's getting more aggressive. The touching of the girls is starting to get aggressive. So they have to shelter you away from family. They really have to shelter you away from family. Because we know with kids, their grandmothers, we love our grandmothers for the most part. And it was cultish. And the fact that, at 8 years old, imagine going in your father's room at 8 years old and he's congratulating you and then said, I got to show you how to become a woman. I got to teach you how to become a woman. And the fact that your mother knew your father was touching you so inappropriately. She said, this sounds so familiar, but mine was my uncle. Shannon. Put some prayer hands up for our sister Shannon, please. That's why these conversations have to be had. To give us a little bit of healing to open up. That starts a healing process to open up about the trauma. Because when you keep it in, it overpowers your real life. You're not able to function properly. And we don't know why we're not functioning properly in relationships with our children. But the generational curse goes on and on and on because nobody was educated. We didn't have that uncomfortable conversation to tell our kids that, hey, your uncle touched me inappropriately, and inappropriate touches isn't okay. And tell them the trauma. So sometimes if I come off like I'm isolating and I'm overprotective, this is why. I don't mean to be this way, but I just do that to protect y'all. Miss Parker, this is crazy. Well, Miss Parker, the people around knew Miss Parker, they did nothing. Let it go on for years. Wow. Prayers up to you, sweet honey, too. Prayers up to our sister, sweet honey, too. This is crazy. And y'all not alone. Nobody in this chat is alone for the most part. Maybe not all, but most. And then it's, that's where the healing starts. You telling strangers. Especially if you suppress it. Let's go to Queen. It's when the suicidal thoughts kick in. That's when your mental health really deteriorates. And just, you don't even know who you are most of the time. You just really just living. And that's not life.
We were just completely isolated. Interestingly enough, though, we were isolated in my grandmother's house because we lived in a very large home in Patterson, and it was a mother-daughter situation where there was the main house and then there was an apartment attached. We lived in the apartment attached. And even though I saw my grandmother in passing outside, I mean, my time outside was limited as well. But the times that I did run into her, there were times I would take the garbage out. She'd be on the porch and she'd try to wave me down or speak to me, but I wasn't allowed to speak to her. So that became some of the isolation. And then I remember hearing a conversation between my parents where my father told my mom that we needed to get out of that place. We needed to move. And I think from there is when he decided to start looking for a home somewhere outside of Patterson. And that's when he found the house in East Orange. It was a dilapidated funeral home. I mean, way back, I believe like in the early 50s, 60s, and 70s, here in East Orange, it was a very affluent community. And there are a lot of very large homes, mansions on decent sized pieces of land. And he found one of these homes that had been shuttered. He got a great deal on it at the time. And he also received the first time home buyers grant from the city. And he renovated it. Now, after he purchased the house, we were driving back and forth renovating it. He stripped it down to its bones, and we were the construction crew. Most of the time it was me and my brother. My father would get us up 4 o'clock in the morning, take us to East Orange. We'd bust through walls, strip slats, put garbage out, dump garbage. Like, we were a working crew. We were a working construction crew. And then I don't know what happened, but my father suddenly wanted to speed the process along. And we weren't finishing the house or getting it to a point where it was livable quick enough. And then one day he just decided, we're packing up and we're moving there. Even though it wasn't ready, even though it didn't have plumbing, even though it didn't have electricity, even though the roof, there was no roof. Like, there was so many things. Yeah. Listen, you would go into, when it snowed.
In the winter?
In the winter. Yes, in the winter. He ended up moving us into the house.
It is, man.
And we moved into the basement because that was the only part of the house that was sheltered. He put up curtain walls, put up plastic, bought mattresses and carpet, and put it on the concrete floor of the basement. And that's where we lived. That's where we lived initially when we first moved there. And it would snow because we had some of our belongings, of course, in the upstairs part. And I remember going upstairs and just literally watching snow fall into the library and in different parts of the house because the roof, you know, in places in the windows were open, so snow would blow in. And then the roof in the kitchen is where damage was, so snow would come in there. It was definitely an experience. Now, mind you, my father was taking my brother and I to work on the house. And after each day of work, he would then pick me there.
Oh my God.
So there was always that connection. And of course, it was completely isolated. He was still, I would say, strategizing while we was in my grandparents' house. But then when we would go to the house, he would have free reign and can do whatever he wanted to do. So, you know, that was a very difficult, the trauma of experiencing that has its own other implications that I don't think a lot of people understand.
Mm-hmm.
So he eventually moved us there. We were living in the basement, and that is where I got pregnant. Even without electricity, my father connected legally electricity from the street leading into the house, and essentially stole electricity from the city of East Orange, and was able to plug up heaters. So before, we used a generator that had to be started every night. And then from there, started running electricity throughout the house. Then the next thing was plumbing, and it just built up from there. We didn't have plumbing at the time that I had my first child. So, you know, imagine having a baby and your little brother and sisters are going outside and getting water from the outside faucet. So that was definitely an experience.
Oh my gosh, Aziza. So you had no pregnancy care, no prenatal care, no birth care, anyone who was qualified to help you have this baby in this unfinished home?
None whatsoever. By then, though, it was so normal because my father had already delivered many of my siblings. So, I mean,
y'all know that's crazy. She said it was so normal. And at that age, you shouldn't think that, you know, hey, my father's delivered babies, so, you know.
And after I was born in the hospital, my brother, who was after me, was born in the hospital. But then my first sister, my father delivered in my grandmother's home, which of course created its own conflict. I remember sitting next door. We called it next door. My grandmother's portion of the home was, us kids called it next door. And my mom was in labor, and you could hear everything. I'm sitting in my grandmother's kitchen, and I could hear her, breathing and yelling out. And then my father called me in when the baby was about to come out. My sister actually was born breech. Ooh. And and the experience of her being born is emblazoned on my mind. And then after that, it was just a normal thing. My father delivered the rest of my siblings that were mothered by my mother, and also siblings who was mothered by his other girlfriends. He delivered most of his children.
Oh my goodness. I think we need to talk about your mom a little bit, because you had done a reel dedicated to this, and I think that's when we connected. You had said that your father explicitly told your mother, I'm doing this to your daughter, and this is why. And
wow.
I need to get more information on that and talk about how your mother reacted to this.
I wasn't there when my father told my mom. I found out from her. She told me that he told her. The reason he told her that he was molesting me was to help my skin condition. Because remember, I was told that after I was vaccinated, a patch of eczema had developed at the vaccine site, and it just spread across all over.
Not I'm molesting our daughter. I'm touching our daughter inappropriately to help her skin problem.
All over my skin. So I also had a bunch of different allergies, not only the fish allergies. I also had untreated asthma. And I say untreated because my father did not believe in doctors. So as far as all of our health care and my mom's health care, he did it himself with holistic techniques and Chinese medicine. However, I would have these bouts of sickness where I could barely breathe, and I was just bedridden. Unfortunately, that didn't stop my father from abusing me. It got to a point where he told me that him abusing me while I was sick was a way of getting the evil and negativity out of me so I could get better.
Oh my God.
So when my mother then found out, or when he told my mother and she explained to me that he told her he was doing what he was doing to me because to help my skin, it aligned with some of the things that he was telling me about my negative energy. So she accepted it and then continued to reiterate to me that this was the reason.
So what was her reaction though when you got pregnant? Because she couldn't have thought that was okay.
Well, apparently she did. As far as
I'm like you, Jordan. From the Maleah to this, I want to finish this tomorrow. I'm gonna call it a blind eye. Turning the back on our children. A blind eye. I'm going to finish this tomorrow, guys. That quick, I came up with a title. That's when I be telling God, leave me alone. Leave me alone, God. Kings like bags. Thank you, Tarsha, baby. My God, I'm praying for you. This is so horrible. Thank you, A. Young, for coming through. Hello, everyone. Just stopping in to say hi. I'm going to have to catch the replay. Yeah, Miss Rhea, I'm kind of into her, love. I got to play some orders. Thank you. Thank you, sweet honey. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, she gave me like, what the hell? Jordan, I know. I hope so. Friend helps you. What goes under the tongue? Yeah. Hey DJ, she said this is heavy. Yeah, this is heavy. Shannon sent 11 prayers to you. I love your passion. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm gonna come back later on, guys. We don't went from the Maleah story to some news clips that's just been mind blowing. But I think this is so. This story needs to be heard. Again, I'm gonna stop it at the 34, 54-minute mark. And like I said, we have to have these uncomfortable conversations. Saying so, hey. So y'all catch the replay. Thank you, Shannon. And I pray for nothing but healing for you. And we are here to support you. We might not can't give you all the healing and things you need, but damn it, we're gonna sure send you to some resources, okay? I know I am, and I know that my riders will help me too. Hey, and Bella talking about the Aziza Kibi story where her father impregnated her 5 times, and that's why I want to say, turning a blind eye, turning our backs on our children, turning a blind eye, because this is a lot of what we're hearing in these stories from Maleah, Kimani, Naziah, Ayanna Sawyer, Shamaria Sessions, Rico Roundtree, so many others. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, sister. Love you too. Thank you, Ayan. Thank you. Thank you, DJ. Thank you. She said very heavy, yeah. But if we don't talk about it, what happens? This keeps happening because a lot of us don't know. We don't have a place to go. We don't have somewhere to go to say I'm hurting. Somebody hurt me. We don't get the educational tools and resources that we need. We don't go around like-minded people because we're trying to fit in somewhere we can't. Because we're dealing with trauma that we keep masking. And as long as we keep masking it, guess what? The trauma gets worse and worse. Shannon said I can't sleep at night. Thank you, Zilla, my sister. Yeah, way too many names of babies. So I want to finish this conversation tomorrow. Yeah, so many families keep these evil secrets. And that's why it's called generational curse, DJ. Imperfect, you got my information. Get in touch with me, okay? That's a good solution. Because that's what these stories should be about at the end. Not crying, not leaving, feeling sick, even though it does make us sick to our stomach. It always is. It's not going to stop. But damn it, if we can come up with some solutions for our communities, that's a start. We might can't save all, but just to save one is a blessing. Jessica can't. Must be had, DJ. You hear me? Nope. Sometimes I come on 3 times. Say it ain't so, I've been on her for 3 hours today. 3 hours, and I'm gonna come back later. Shank Rock might do an all-nighter, but if he doesn't tonight, he's gonna do an all-nighter tomorrow, so then I'll do my all-nighter tonight. Didi, you ain't the only one. I had somebody call me past couple nights, 2 subscribers. Heather having nightmares, and me too. It is haunting me because I'm still not healing properly. But I noticed that when I come on here and talk about the babies and have uncomfortable conversations, and I see my sisters that's hurting just like me, I heal. When I see the resources that's in my chat, I use them. I heal. These names of the lovely bones are powerful. We have to be the change. And let's go. I said, okay. She said, when do you go live? When you feel like it? No. Nope. I go live sometimes, like I said, all day, just depends. 3-4 times a day. But if y'all need me to, I'll go live. If y'all ever need me to strike up a live where you feel alone and uncomfortable and you are in a dark place, I'll fire it up. I will fire this live up and we can talk, we can get it going. It's always a conversation. I have conversations that we haven't even talked about. They don't always have to be this. It could be this, how does trauma affect your relationships? Trauma doesn't always have to be being essayed. It could be from physical abuse. It could be from watching your mother and father. It's physical abuse. Thinking that, what we learned in the home is okay to implement in our relationship. I don't know, sister. I don't know. It can always be that. Incest. How can that affect the relationship? All kind of stuff. All kind of stuff we can talk about we haven't touched on. I appreciate SD too and Shane, but no one compares to me. I did not say it to put anyone down. We definitely lift a lot of people who speak facts, not assumptions. Thank you, sister. Thank you. But like I said, we got to have these uncomfortable conversations because what are we going to talk about to our kids? How will our kids know to listen to us that's been traumatized unless we be honest and tell them the truth of why you're so strict? Why you keep them sheltered? You keep them sheltered because you were sheltered. When do we take that off the table and allow our children to live a life that we didn't live? Because see, sometimes it ain't about putting our kids in with the same people that cause us discomfort. Sometimes we make our homes discomfort based off of our trauma. It affects everything, Shannon. Everything. I know. Love you too, Aziza. Okay, sister. She said, reach out. Yep. Show do precious. Every time. Or sometimes even being in a physical relationship, how I become the abuser. And never looked at it as it was wrong, even when I felt that it was wrong when it was happening to me. All of that. So it's up to us to come together with solutions. Our tears from here on out should be tears of joy. From just healing just a little bit and coming up with a solution to help someone else fix that problem and help ourselves. So I appreciate everyone that poured into me today. Thank you for all the donations. I appreciate that. Remember, y'all help me just as much as I help y'all. Remember that. Y'all words of encouragement is blessings. Money and materialistic things don't help us get through what we've been through. But I do appreciate those that pour into my channel, into me. And it give me hope to keep coming back and doing this when I want to give up. Not on the kids, but myself. That's a good one, Lizzie. That's a good one. That's why I keep wanting to have our meetings, to keep us influenced, to fight in our communities. Just like Imperfect said, I want to open a safe house. If we don't talk about it, we'll lose it. We'll lose focus of what we're really here for. And it is a young, but you don't want her to run and things like that. You know what I'm saying? When she gets an age, you don't want to shelter her so much. And that's where I was. That's what led me to the streets. Being sheltered too much. Wanting a taste of the world. Why is she yielding me from the world? What's out there? So we got to start respecting our kids to respect us, and also getting our kids to be so comfortable that we know and they know that we trust that they make great decisions at young. Communicate with your daughter. Have real conversation, but build that rapport where you know that when she goes out, she's going to make the right decision. She's going to know red flags, what to watch out for. I feel like I'm a bad mother at times because I keep my kids with me home. I just don't trust anybody. It's not only adults, it's kids that doesn't know. And say it ain't so, it's okay to be that way. Again, it's okay. But you want to do the same thing. You want to build that relationship with your kids where they trust you just as much as you trust them. And they got to know that. They got to feel that. We got to make our kids aware of that. What's wrong with Giant Lizzie? Praying for him. And it does make her a fantastic mother. But again, we got to look at the world. Why do the kids run away sometimes? It's not because I had a bad parent. My mother and father was good to us. They just sheltered me too much. And I was rebellious. I wanted to see what was they sheltering me from. What was really out there that was so bad? Love you too, Kenya. Love you too, sister. Thank you, thankful, my sister. Thank you. Yeah, that outside world. That outside world. Absolutely, precious. Monsters be right there in the home. We all got that dog. A real mother, especially one that's been traumatized. We got a sense of a dog. You're absolutely right. Thank you, sweet honey. Thank you. I'll be right here. Okay. Yeah, them allergies, baby. Tell them I'm praying for them. It is a wicked world, but we don't want her to run out there to it. We don't want to, that locked door to be unlocked all night, and you just don't know. There go your grief. Heart attacks. High blood pressure and some more kicks in, Okay, Alicia. Yes, we want to shelter our kids, but we want our kids to have great decision making. But if we have these kind of conversations, they understand, they respect you more. And that makes them go out in the world and use spider senses too. Drinking and driving, good decisions, bad decisions, where they'll land you. Just because your friend does something, you're going to jump off that bridge. If they jump off that building, you're going. I need to make sure that you have your own mindset. I trust you enough to have your own mindset. And clarify you trust your kids. Make sure. Thank you, Diamond. Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. My oldest son just called me about his balls. Not about his balls. Oh, shit. But hey. Hey, Vicky, my sister. What it do? I'm only 47 and already had a heart attack. It's from being scared and anxious. But where does that leave your kids, Shannon, with your health being like that? They won't know the world. So they'll go for anything if something happens to you. So you got to take care of yourself. And you got to have uncomfortable conversations with your children. But you have to let your children know, too, I trust y'all. I trust y'all. Yes, I do, too. Yeah, you do, precious, you do. Let's go, Lizzie. Hi, sister. Love you. Precious, I can identify with you. Monday, 8 o'clock, Ryerz meeting. Did anybody come up with any solutions from last time? What are new solutions from people that wasn't here? What are you working on? We got all weekend to work on something. What kind of conversations did we have with our children? What kind of goals have we set with our children? Not with ourselves, but implementing our children to let them know that they're a part of what we got going on with our journey. That they're not left out to where they go seek love and attention from someone else and want to be a part of a monster's journey. Be groomed into something. Anything. I've been telling my daughter about my trauma since she was 4, little by little, until she was able to understand. I know it's right. It's how it starts. Yeah. She said it's crazy. And I don't hide or have secrets. I have 3 mama boys and a mama girl. Okay, Lizzie? Okay, I love y'all. See y'all next live, okay? My story too, but God. And I'm going to be here for it, and we are. We all going to be here for y'all. We're going to be here for each other. But we're going to come up with solutions. Okay? So until I see you guys later on or tomorrow, I love each and every one of y'all. Stay prayed up. Don't lose your faith through this journey. This is my second carload. I'm becoming a rider. Okay, Jordan, you are a rider. You are a rider. You don't have to be in blue to be a rider. We ride for a purpose. In life, don't you ride for something? Justice, a purpose. Life. That's what makes you a rider. Going to the beat of your own drum. Yeah, that's what makes you a rider. Man, thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for pouring into me again today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, stand up to stand out. You know, pour number meaningful season to each other, even if I'm not around and stuff like that. It to other content creators, stand out to be different. Because that's what changes you. I don't got to be like everybody else. I just want to be me. You will. Thank you, sister. Yeah, I'm pretty rested up, my love. Love you. Thank you, Olivia. And to people that just dropped down today, guys, thanks. Love you too, Tasha Boo. I got to go put y'all orders in and stuff like that. For the people that's getting their orders shipped out this week, I hope y'all enjoy it. Take pictures for me. Send it to me. Email, Instagram, or whatever. Send me your pictures of your merch. You know what I'm saying? For those that are supporting my business, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to get some rider shirts next. I'm going to get my rider shirts made and stuff. So when they come out, they know who we are. You know, if I go up there and work with Imperfect, they're going to know who I am. They're going to know I'm from a sisterhood. The riders. We ride for justice. We ride with a purpose. We ride where where anything that is okay, we ride for it. We ride for mental health. So, yeah. I'm late. You are. Yes, Sassy, I agree with you, Sassy. Are you in Michigan? Yeah. Okay, let's go, Sassy. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. Yes, for the merch. Okay. And Didi, I'll put your order in today. Okay. Victoria, if you're in the bushes, please hit my email up, please, love. So I can get your merchandise. I did receive your money, but it's just sitting there because you didn't leave a color or anything. So I just need to know the details. I'm not just gonna order anything for you because I don't know what you like. And I like to know exactly what y'all like and stuff like that. So thank you. Hey, Young, love you too. Okay. Okay. I know that's right. And we wish you nothing but the best in your relationship and endeavors. But always pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too comfortable, sister. Don't get too comfortable. Hey, Wilda. Yeah, don't get too comfortable. Stay uncomfortable. Okay? And then keep your third eye open, little sister. Okay? All right, guys. I'm getting out of here. I will see y'all at Shank Rocks. And then I will see you guys later on tonight. Okay?